All right, and we are live. Hello, everyone out there in the wonderful lands of Twitch. This is John here with Rook and Rasp, and we are back for another Saturday. Seriously, let's play. Today, we're doing a follow up game to the game I ran last time, which was Battletech A Time of War, set in a setting for Solaris 7. But today, I'm not in the GM's chair. Chris, who played our lead Mechwarrior last game, is going to trade out with me, and he is going to be running us in the follow up, which is Mechwarrior Destiny. So, Chris, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Yeah, I played Chester Stitch, the mech warrior on the Solaris arena battlefields with the rest of this crew last time. But yeah, I'm sitting in the GM chair, and Mech Warrior Destiny is, I don't want to say it's because the Time of War is still a viable addition, but this is more of a rules light version of the Mech Warrior RPG for BattleTech, and it's a bit more story focused, a bit more narratively driven, not nearly as crunchy as Time of War or as anything in BattleTech, really. So it's very different in that aspect, and hopefully you'll get to see a little bit here as we go through the encounter or the scenario today. I'm going to have you all kind of reacquaint us with your characters here briefly, shortly, and then of course, John, you get to introduce your guy as well. But I just want to go through just a couple of the quick core mechanics of Destiny to kind of give you an idea of how this works. Basically, much like BattleTech, it involves just rolling 2d6 and adding in the appropriate bonuses for your skill and attributes for that. As I mentioned, it is a very storytelling focused game. And in that, there's much more description of what's going on as opposed to, marching around on a board. So this is very theater of the mind. And even if we happen to possibly get into some mech combat, that will be handled that way as well. With that, to kind of facilitate that to a certain degree, are things called plot points. And plot points are things that the players can have their characters use or spend to take the story in a certain direction, um, create things that might be necessary to accomplish certain tasks, and basically just kind of affect the story in any way that they seem fit or that they see fit. For those of you who have read the MechWarrior Destiny rules, you know that the rules as written, it provides a sort of around the clock sort of structure as each player takes narrative focus. We're not going to use the rules that way. We're going to kind of run this more as a traditional RPG, which is an option in Destiny, where me as the game master, um, details the scene and the characters interact with it as you normally would. So I think that is the very quick overview of basic mechanics. So with that, let's talk before we introduce characters. Let's talk just a little bit about um, the setting. This is taking place on the planet Solaris 7, is specifically in Solaris City. And for those of you that don't know, Solaris City is essentially like the Las Vegas in a lot of ways of the Battletech universe. It is a very large, kind of rollicking city where it's divided up into a number of sectors that are controlled de facto by the various larger inner sphere empires that are present in this game. And each district kind of has the flavor of that particular realm. Outside the city, though, too, is an area known as the Reaches, which is basically sort of a very wild and lawless section of Solaris City as it surrounds these five sectors. And things can get a little harried and dangerous in there. Of course, the big thing is the Battlemech Arenas, and there are several in Solaris City proper, each one tied to a specific house in a specific region. But there are also some arenas that are outside in the reaches as well, where I don't want to say your minor league mech warrior stables, but your lower tier, I guess, would be a better way to describe it. battles and matches are fought, and that these matches are the focus of all the action and excitement that occurs on Solaris City. Everything revolves around these huge mech fights, which are usually one-on-one and very exciting, but sometimes there's paired things as well. So it's think Blade Runner without the you know overriding dystopian nature of it all, as far as tech scale and whatnot. So, but yeah, let's go around. Let's introduce our characters, and we'll see what's happened to the Black Lion stable since we last left them. And we'll go. I guess we'll go. Yeah, as I'm looking here at the stream, let's start with upper left, and we'll go around clockwise. So, actually, John, that's going to be you first.
Well, hi everybody. I'm John. I think most of y'all know me out there. I'm one of the leadership people with Rook and Rasp here on the channel. But today I will be playing Elroy Huggins. Now, Elroy is one of them good boys from outside Davian space, and he is a former war veteran, and so he has seen a lot of action. But he's here on Slayer 7 to make his name as Mechwarrior pilot. And let me tell you a little bit. Well, he's also a little bit of a useless shill, if you know what I'm saying, because he loves to tell you all about all the companies that are putting some money behind him. Like he loves to talk about Crown Knives. Let me tell you, Crown Knives, they'll help you get your point across.
Oh, that's gonna be fun.
Nice. Nice. I like that. Okay, going clockwise, that's going to bring us to Dash.
Hello, I'll be playing Dash yet again. Dash was a little sad to see Chester move along, but that's the sport of it. And so now we've got a new pilot to support, and he's eager to kind of, keep flexing his muscles to try to get the team to heights of success.
Nice. Nice. All right. And then going down and around, that's going to bring us to Luca.
Hello, Luca here. Luca is a promoter, bit of a law hound. They're the one that keeps the team in line half the time. So can't wait to see how they handle the new pilot. Sounds like a firecracker already.
I don't know about these side sponsorship deals he's got, though. That's you should be getting a little cut of that, I'm thinking.
Hey, the cutter discussion going on.
And last but not least, that brings us to Raph.
Hey, I'm playing Raph again. Mechanic extraordinaire. I keep the mech running. It's the reason why we're winning because it's always at tip top condition. And as long as this new pilot doesn't run it into a wall like our last pilot, I'll be fine with the new one.
Yeah, yeah. Speaking of our last pilot, Chester Stitch, that actually it's so funny you say moving on because that's we're going to find out exactly what happened to Chester and the rest of you in relation to that. So, like I said, you're part of the Black Line stables, and as we established in the last adventure, that the this was kind of a rising uh, stable of Mechwarrior, small, but definitely on the way up. That was fueled partially by Luca's amazing negotiation abilities in getting certain sponsors, so getting some good money into the group, but also by Chester's daring do and other sort of flamboyant nature, both on and off the battlefield. And last adventure, and please correct me if I'm wrong, but it resulted in Chester having a mech match with the person who was currently seated in the top spot in the various rankings. And
Yep.
it was a very touch and go tough fight, but because the team absolutely came together, Chester, who was just barely into the top 20, was able to accomplish something that most folks don't get the shot to do, and that was defeat the number one ranked pilot in the Solaris 7 standings. And it's been a few months since that match, and that victory really kind of set everything into a bit of a state of chaos. and because people weren't sure exactly what to make of it and how to deal with it, and so began a round of various shouting matches by a bunch of talking heads on the various trids on the Solaris Broadcasting Network over what's going to be done. Committee meetings on how this was going to be handled and how are we going to deal with such upheaval really resulted into little more than noise as they shouted back and forth with various peoples trying to get their point and set their agendas. If there was anything concrete that actually came out of all of this was the fact that all of the matches that were happening sort of ground to a halt while all of this was sorted out, which then created its own sort of chaos because the main economic driver for this planet was suddenly not happening. But yet, this sort of side cottage industry of fighting about the matches started to crop up. So, to sort of make money and still kind of keep things rolling, various exhibition matches started to be held. It was agreed that these wouldn't go and affect any rankings, but you could still kind of have these matches, still kind of, you could bet and make some money if needed. And then, of course, the people would also be entertained. And while this started in the arenas, in the reaches outside of Solaris City, it quickly moved into the city proper in the larger arenas. Well, that led to Mr. Chester Stitch. Basically, karma came around and he got baited into a fight, into a match. He, in a rare display of losing his cool, Chester got pushed into a bit of a corner socially to engage in an exhibition match by another relative unknown. This unknown came from the Vampire Stables, which is a small down and out outfit located in the Reaches. And this Mechwarrior, who had the moniker known as Killer Miller, sort of forced Chester's hand and got him into a match. Now, the match went well enough. Chester had the weight advantage, but the modified dragon mech that Killer Miller was using had a little bit of a speed advantage. And match started off good, went well. They were trading good shots here and there. It was a lot of touch and go. As a team, you were still functioning pretty well, although Chester was a little bit hot-headed. But then something happened. Both mechs closed with each other. Chester felt that if he got in, he was going to be able to finish Miller off because Miller had gotten in a couple of good hits with his modified dragon, which had an arm-mounted PPC. And so both mechs closed. There was a big exchange of weapons fire and lots of explosions and smoke and lights and things and energy discharges were going off. But then there was this weird flash and fluctuation of energy as the two mechs were essentially right on top of each other in the worst kind of struggle cuddle you could have with two large 10-meter tall metal machines. And then suddenly these strange flashes happened, and then almost in slow motion, Chester's Marauder reeled back and it had a gaping hole in its chest. And there was damage to his cockpit, and the mech collapsed, and Chester went offline. And chaos ensued. You quickly learned that he was gravely injured, and he was rushed to the hospital. The mechs were carted off. The Killer Miller and his mech, they disappeared in the ensuing chaos. And the lights and sirens and sounds sort of dissipated into the Solaris night. And as we open up this scene, the four of you, or really the three of you, are standing around the downed carcass of Chester's Marauder. Again, this large hole in its chest and with some damage to the cockpit just because of the positioning. And Luca, you are showing up last. You are coming back from the hospital where Chester is, and he's in surgery right now, and his fate is unknown. But the So the four of you are just kind of standing around this damaged mech, trying to determine what the hell happened. And that is where we begin.
Mm.
What are we looking at, Raph? Oh, sorry, guy.
Oh, no, go ahead.
I don't have a clue. I don't even know. I mean, what was that? What was he using? I mean, it shouldn't have blown a hole.
Yeah, Raph, go ahead and make me, we'll do our first skill test here. Go ahead and
Okay.
make me I believe technician is what we're looking for.
Okay.
And the way this works is, and I'm going to say that this is, we're going to give this actually, we're going to make this a hard difficulty. And so the way target numbers are determined in this is dice on my end. So if it's easy, I roll 2d6. If it's an average, it's going to be 3d6. And if it's hard, it's going to be 4d6.
Okay.
And then we compare numbers, and if you beat me, then you get to know some things.
Okay.
And what'd you get?
21.
21. Damn. All right, that definitely beats my 14. So good job. So Raph, you're standing there, and as you step up on the mech and you're kind of poking around, it is very obvious that there is what appears to be a large puncture wound in the center chest of this mech. It's something definitely pushed its way in there hard, which isn't unusual. When it comes to a punch or a kick. I mean, that's kind of how it goes. But there's something different about the way this is built, or the way this particular puncture wound looks. And you've probably got like a little sort of scanner analysis thing that you're running over there, and you're picking up some residual energy signatures that are reminiscent of a PPC, a particle projection cannon. However, because you're the brilliant tech that you are, you know that generally at that close range, PPCs are not effective. But yet somehow it seems that appears to be what the case is. And what confuses you even more is that the damage internally appears a bit deeper as far as the interior of the mech goes, which it strikes you as odd.
I don't know what I'm looking at. There is a puncture wound, but it's also reminiscence of a PPC attack, which shouldn't be happening at this closer range. And if that's not even stranger enough, the damage inside is worse than the damage on the outside. Like it pierced and then the PPC went off. Which I have never seen that happen.
Yeah, that's certainly strange.
Luca, your cell phone is constantly going off. You're getting, whether it's texts or actually we'll say it's mostly text, at least right now at the moment, from a number of sides. You're getting media requests, updates on Stitch's condition. You're getting a couple texts from some major sponsors. One is probably from your largest sponsor, which simply says, "How's he doing?" Or how's the asset doing? I need to know. You need to call me.
All right, that one seems like one I have to take. So I'm going to respond to that one with the best I know of Chester's condition. And
are you going to respond verbally, or are you going to shoot a text back?
Text back, because right now if I go in verbally, I might not keep my cool, and that's not a good idea.
Oh, excellent. Well, okay, I'm going to force that on you. So you text back, and you get another text. You see like the little three little bubbles, and it comes back and it says, "I said call me."
Fine, call you bastard.
What is the sponsor's name? Who is this person? You've dealt with this person before. Give me a name for this person.
Go with Johnny for the personal name, and I can't think of a company name off the top of my head, so we're just going to go with...
That's fine. It's Johnny.
Kodomo Heavy
Johnny.
Industries.
What?
Kodomo Heavy Industries.
Kodomo Heavy? All right, I like it.
Okay. Yeah, I'll take that.
Okay.
Hey, Johnny.
Yeah. When I said call, I don't mean text. I mean call.
Well, I'm calling now.
All right. So, how is he?
I'm hoping he's gonna be fine. We're gonna figure out what the hell just happened.
Is he still in surgery?
As far as I'm aware, that's the last update that I got. I don't know how fast the hospital's gonna be in getting me updates.
You're not at the hospital right now?
I care about Chester. I also care about my mech, and right now my mech is a mess. I need to figure out what the hell just happened.
Yeah, I mean it looked spectacular, but something, I mean that do you have a good enough control over your people there? I mean why did he close? Why did he close like that?
He likes showboating.
Yeah, I
I
know.
can't control the showboat. Also, I'd have made that call too. Granted, I'm not the mech pilot. I know enough to get promotions. I can't drive these things. I'd have closed too, probably. It was nice and showy.
Luca, I am under the impression that you're sort of the person in charge of the stables, right? I mean, you're running this, right?
Yes, but that's like herding cats sometimes.
Well, then,
These pilots.
be a herder. I mean, that's your job, isn't it? I mean, that's kind of what I'm paying for the sponsorship, right? I'll take that as a yes. All right, when you find an update, let me know. And you can text, that's fine.
Got it, Johnny. You'll know when I know.
All right.
Before you hang up, I have a question.
Yes.
What do you know about Killer Miller?
As far as I know, yeah, and you hear some tapping in the background. You've been with the vampire stables, maybe, well, for at least about a month. He came from Merrick Space, trying to find out exactly what unit he may have been associated with. I don't know if he was a house regular or if he was mercenary or what, but he made a good showing of himself. Were you thinking about recruiting him?
Let's see what damage he did to my mech first.
Okay. All right. Let me know. And he just cuts it at that point.
Love you too, Johnny.
You asshole. And as you hang up, you've in that time you've gotten about 7 different more texts from a variety of media groups wanting to know what's going on, and you can even see, like, on a trending thing, like the kill shot as it is almost has now already started to become a meme in a certain sense. As this is starting to pop up in your social media feed. While she was talking on the phone, Dash, you were handed a tech came up to you and handed you a data pad or a note pewter with all the battle ROMs assembled on there from the fight.
Okay.
And go ahead and make me a tactics roll. And I'm going to say this is going to be an average, so that's 3d6. 14. Very nice. That definitely beats my 9. So you're as Raph is continuing to, like, climb around inside the Marauder and figure things out. And Luke is on the phone trying to engage in damage control. You're looking at the battle ROMs and all the various camera angles and internals and all of that. And one thing that you see that looks unusual is that at the moment of that kill shot, when the two mechs were kind of on top of each other, you notice that Killer Miller's dragon makes this move. Its body, the body of the mech moves in such a way that looks like it might have gotten punched so it's kind of reacting to that sort of thing. And this was just before this strange energy flash. But as you look closely, and it's hard to tell, but you've kind of got the eye for this. Chester did not hit Miller's mech in such a way to make it move that way. So something else caused the mech to move. And you've checked it from a couple of different angles, and you can't quite see what that was, but it definitely didn't come from Chester hitting it. So you're not quite sure what that is.
Okay. Probably go to the tank. This is all the ROMs?
This is all the all that we could find, sir. We looked. We've gotten from both mechs, as per rules, and then we got the stadium camera feeds, and we're still kind of combing social media to see if there's any others. But yeah, we're looking.
Big. I need more angles. I need more video on this.
Yeah. Oh. Yep. Right away. You bet. On it.
Very echoey from inside the mech. You just hear, Dash, I don't understand. This doesn't make sense.
Nothing about this makes sense, but
Raph, where are you? You need to see this.
Crawl out of the mech, kind of grimy,
Well, watch right here. The enemy mech moves, but it wasn't Chester. Here it is again. Watch.
Yeah, it looks like something shoved the other mech.
Yeah, and Elroy, you are there as well. You had joined this. You have joined the stable. Obviously, you probably didn't within the last few months as it's continued to grow. And internally, you're at least like in the top 5 of the mech warriors in this stable. But yeah, you're there. So you feel free to jump in whenever. But go ahead and continue.
Hey, mind if I come over and have a look at that?
all right, Proby.
Oh, thank you.
You're one of our newest pilots. You're still on probation.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was some kind
Luca,
of term of
Luca,
endearment because, I'm still trying to
Luca,
find
I'm going to
the
give
name.
you a plot point for that. So please take another pistachio shell or whatever because that was great.
I'm still trying to find myself a good pilot name. Maybe Elroy the Bear Huggins. Probably this doesn't have the same ring to it.
Bear Huggins doesn't have the same ring to it either. It's not the one you want. Bear hugs aren't. No, we're not going to go into that. Take a look at the vid.
Well, I'm gonna come over with it eventually. Come on, gotta have something plastered. Gotta have a name plastered on the side of whatever mech I'm piloting.
Yeah, but a bear hug is not it.
Well, they just know me as the bear. It'd be on my mech.
This is relevant to the discussion. What, please, people? We've got a giant hole in a mech.
Okay, let me see.
Yeah,
this
because
video.
guess what? If we don't get this fixed, there's nothing to pilot.
Well, this mech at least.
I'll show Elroy the video. You tell me what you see.
Okay, well, he's reacting to something. Maybe. Well, have we decided yet what kind of damage this is?
It's PPC.
It is reminiscent of a PPC, but the energy signature doesn't match exactly.
And the damage was more internal than it was external, correct?
Yeah, the particle damage seemed to be internal, and now that you're like all greased up from climbing in there, Raph, you noticed that there's no particle damage at the impact point. So somehow something pierced it, and then the particle stuff went off on the inside. There's no stuff on the outside. Coupled with that, I'm going, because you got such a good roll as well, there are some fragments on the inside as well that don't match with the Marauder. So it's some other shrapnel and
some
bits
samples
of things from the Dragon, and you recognize some of the markings on there that this mech was probably modified and had some serious work done by an outfit here in Solaris that all of you are aware of. It's a place called O'Neill's Battlemechs, and they're one of the various facilities and services that do work on and mod mechs. It's quite possible even at some point the Black Lions may have even had some stuff done for them as well.
But the fragment's large enough that we can pull them out for testing if we want to.
Yeah, absolutely.
See, my question would have been point of impact. Where'd the explosion start, or where
Inside.
So
It started from the inside.
Something pierced him then.
Right. So can we get? I know where are the techs, because I swear to God, we never around when we need them. Can we get any footage farther out to see if we can see something coming in?
Image of the arena? I can probably find something.
See,
I mean, social blowing up.
Man, my other
Combing
thought
the
is
social medias.
what you're seeing as what you guys are seeing as possibly him recoiling as if he's hitting something, might be that he knows what's about to happen and he's leaning back away from it.
Yeah, that's why I kind of want something farther out. Is it possible we've got a sniper?
I think we would have
Yeah,
known.
that's
One hell of a sniper for a mech.
Well, I mean, I've never seen this before. It's something that was strong enough to pierce the armor, and then had a package that was able to talking pierce the armor. It was able to detonate like a energy weapon inside. I'm surprised Chester is alive.
Good point. Well, and that leads us to secondary question in all this is, well, was this the this vampire outfit, or is it somebody else?
Well, the first time Chester's been on the end of a hit list.
You guys, I hate to ask, is there any y'all check the battlefield, see maybe if there's any armor shrapnel or anything left over from the other mech that's out here?
I mean, I've got the samples from inside.
Yeah, but what about from the field itself? Let's compare the two and see if the damage that's inside that mech came from that actual mech, or if it's from some other source.
Traditionally, and you won't have to roll for that. Usually, the stuff that is the parts and pieces that are scattered up, if it's a large thing like an arm that got blown off or whatever, that's usually reclaimed by the affected stable. But yeah, bits of armor here and there, that's usually just sort of scooped up and then brought to various salvage yards located outside of Solaris City. And as far as like where that stuff goes, I mean, Luca, you could figure out where it probably went pretty easily, but yeah, but right now none of you know like which specific one it might have gone to.
Yeah, I'll figure that out because I've got a conference in 5 minutes to update the press on Chester's condition.
Oh, you need help with that and everything?
You know what? You're young and attractive enough. Yeah, you're going to be with me for that.
Excellent.
Just keep quiet.
Nice.
You want me quiet though?
Let me do the talking, yes.
Damn it.
Hey, is it too soon for us to change Chester's mech name? Because I mean, right now he could be Crispy Chester.
Yeah, you're already seeing the memes. Yeah, Chester Stitches, and then all kinds of things like that. Or Chest Burster is another one, and Chestless. And it shows those Marauders falling. Like the words flash up, Chestless Stitch, as he's going down. But yeah, let's do the press conference thing, and then we can round out this scene with a couple of points. But yeah, you go to the regular like media area, but it's sort of a thing where just like a lot of monitors are there, and there's no, that's where all the press is, because right now none of them are coming in to the room, so you're just kind of doing this in a remote manner. But do you want an opening statement, or do you want to go right to questions?
The opening statement will just be like, hey, Chester's in stable condition as far as I'm aware. He's in surgery. He's doing good. I'm going to bluff a little bit because I'm not sure of this part, but I am going to say that I've been told that he's going to pull through. I mean, Chester's a little harder to kill than that. We've been through worse together. He's been through worse on his own.
That sounds like that's going to be a skill roll. Let's see. I think that probably unless you want to do it a different way, I'm going to say it's communications, but I'm open to debate on that.
It sounds weird that communications would be an intelligence thing. I'm wondering if you'll let me use charisma instead of intelligence for that particular bit.
I will totally let you do that. I think that's a great idea.
And so for the thing, it's however many dice combined.
That's your target number, but you are always 2d6 as a player. 2d6 plus the skill level, which in this case is 2, but then plus your charisma bonus, which is an additional plus 3. So your total would be 2d6 plus 5.
Nice.
And I'm going to say that this bluffing is average.
12.
12 you got?
12.
12. Okay, I also got a 12, and so yeah, ties go to the player. So you say he's in stable condition as far as you know. Okay, so it looks like they kind of buy that, or they at least move on. One of the presses. So, Luca, it seems that with the loss to this literal unknown, this Killer Miller, that maybe Chester wasn't as wasn't as promised. There's already talk that once the standings come back in, he could drop below 15. What are your thoughts on that?
I think Chester's going to be just fine where he's at. This is an exhibition match. Obviously, things go south all the time. I mean, come on, you gotta remember, we got here through incredible hard work and a little bit of luck. Sometimes other people get lucky too.
Okay, but I mean, forgive me, but I mean, there's going south, and then there's what happened on the field. I mean, we all kind of saw that.
Now,
the
hold
surface
up there just one moment. Look, Chester is a veteran, first and foremost. Let me tell you, there are few people that can walk out of a war other than damn fine mech pilots. And Chester was one of the best, and you have watched him now for over a year climbing his way up through that ladder, and you saw him enter that top 20 in each one of those fights consecutively. There was no foul play. There was no, razzle dazzle other than that which was within Chester. And Chester is a fine pilot, and once he's done here, I mean, what do you think he's going to do? I mean, if it was me recovering from wounds, I am a veteran myself, I'd find my way to Galactic Wolf Lodge. I guarantee there's one in your part of space somewhere out there.
Okay, with all due respect, I'm sorry, you said he was one of the best, so he's done fighting? Is that what we're saying?
No, hell no. I'm one of
the best.
My character's getting flustered and turning red.
Elroy's a little unused to press conferences. Words matter, we all know this.
Elroy, you're taking over for Chester then, is that right? We're moving into his slot?
Nah, you don't. The king still has his crown. I'm just merely another person in his court.
You can see Raph in the background, just like.
Any last questions before I call it? I have other things to be doing.
Any thoughts on the possible restructuring of thing and turning it into more of a league style thing? Do you think that's gonna reduce your stock at all?
Who's to say? Sounds like you have more of a heads up on that than I do, but if we go to more of a free league, no skin off my back, might make way for better pilots.
Ooh. You can hear a number of things and yeah, reactions to that. All right, excellent. For Raph and for Dash, the best you can figure as they, you're in the back and kind of conferring and kind of re-looking at things, is that O'Neill's Battlemechs, and you get some additional information from the text, that O'Neill's Battlemechs might be a place to go to at least try and figure out what this is, because one thing that the two of you know is that if there was some sort of new tech that was used here, by rules, you should have known about it. It should have been registered, and you're not finding anything that's indicating that any sort of new or experimental tech, because a lot of times this happens often. You know, people are modding weapons all the time and pushing them into various dangerous territory that they shouldn't go. And that's an accepted practice, but it does have to be registered, and there hasn't been any recent tech that has been registered in this manner.
All right.
I mean, do we go there next? I mean, what do we want to do after the press conference? I mean,
Well, I mean, if we can dig up dirt that shows that someone was using illegal tech to try and take out Chester, we can really spin this in a way that I think will be good for us.
yeah, it'll definitely be good for us. It'll show that, you know, we're still the top tier talent, stable. But I think something's weird. I don't think it was. Sorry, I'm drawing a blank. The other Mechwarrior's name was
Killer Miller.
I don't think it was Killer Miller's mech that did this. It looks like something a third party might have been involved. That video is just doesn't look right.
Yeah, I agree, but we'll have to follow the clues that we have.
Yeah.
I do have a question. As I'm walking away from this press conference, I am looking through the social media to see if, like, there's any other, like, cell phone camera vids, essentially, from, like, the upper tiers of the arena.
Make me. That's a great question. Make me. You know what? Go ahead and make do a regular communications this time with int. And let's see what you get. And I'm going to say, we'll say this is also going to be average. And as usual, players are benefiting from my lousy GM dice rolling, because I'm sure you're going to beat this.
12 again, so...
You got a 12 again? Yeah, you definitely beat it. All I got was a 7. So, yeah, as you're leaving the press conference and you're trying to figure out what's your next course of action, there is one piece of video that shows up, and you guys don't have this video, and it is from a weird angle. It's kind of like a lower camera that looks, it's not a standard arena cam, so maybe it looks like somebody either like snuck in like a drone camera or something. It's from just an odd angle. And it shows so the two mechs were together, and there's stuff happening, and there's weapons fire, and so it's kind of hazy, kind of cloudy, but this particular angle shows that something looks like something came out of Miller's mech, but the frame rate on this video is not high enough for you to get any sort of like discernible image as to what this could be, but it does look like something came out of Miller's mech, but it happened extremely fast.
All right. I'm gonna hand it off to Dash and Raph as soon as I get there. Is there a way I can kind of backtrack it to whoever took the video or whatever took the video?
That would, yes you can, short answer. But that's going to be much harder. In fact, I'm going to spend, well, let's see, hold on, let me think about this. No, I'm just, yeah, you can do it, so go ahead, but this will be a hard test, and this would probably also be communications, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't think I'm going to be at a hard test.
I don't know. I rolled okay this time, at least.
Well, I mean, that's a 10 total.
10. All right. I got a 12. So no, there's no like, watermark stamp or anything on this video, and it looks like this has been shared, and so like the source trail is, you try and track it, but it's it's lost.
Can I take the video, Luca, and can I run some processing through your computer to see if I can clear it up, to see if we can get it, enhance it?
Oh, you can totally CSI that shit. Hell yeah,
Have-
man.
You're better at this shit than I am.
So, computer?
Yes, I believe that would probably be a computer test.
All right.
And I'm going to say, just because of the nature of it, I'm also going to make this hard as well. Okay, what'd you get?
I got a 14.
I also got a 14. All right. So, but these go to the players. It appears, and again, this happens very, very, very quickly, but it does appear, and for those of you that don't know, the dragon as a mech, as far as how it looks, it is kind of a squatter machine, and it has a chest mounted, or its chest kind of comes out a little bit, and traditionally it has a missile launcher there. And what really kind of gets you, Raph, as you're looking at this and as you're replaying, you realize that during the fight, Miller never once launched any missiles, but the front facing still shows the tubes that would be where the missiles would come from. And as you're looking at it and you're saying enhance, and Dash is behind you and he's enhance, and you're looking forward, and for some reason the focus just stays crystal clear no matter how much you zoom in, you realize that whatever this video is showing where something came out of it, it looks like it popped out of that sort of chest socket, and that the covering plate where the missile tubes would be, that appeared to be essentially a fake covering. And so almost like it popped off in there as something came out, and this was right when the mechs were right into each other.
So with this video that we're seeing, can we correlate that to when the dragon looks like it was punched? Does that timing come when the chest piece pops off and it fires?
Yeah, I mean, because again, very, very quickly, but yes, the time coordination, you're able to figure out that this pops off, the mech actually lurches back slightly, and then there's the discharge almost immediately, and then that's when Stitch and his Marauder, keeled over, and he became chestless Stitch.
Looks like I was right.
I hate to give it to Elroy, but yeah, he was right. It's not sabotage. They were using.
We don't increase Elroy's ego.
Dash, Luca, it doesn't look like it was sabotage. Looks like they were using an unregistered weapon, and that's 100% cheating.
Guess we're gonna need something a little bit more definitive.
Yeah.
They'll say that we doctored this video or something. So maybe we still need to head to
O'Neill's.
O'Neill's, thank you.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can get something more concrete.
Yeah, agree.
While we're heading to O'Neill's, I'm gonna send people to track down whatever scrapyard was handling this particular exhibition match, so we know where we're going after O'Neill's.
Ooh, send him a picture of that chest plate. See if that's ended up in the scrapyard. The fake chest plate that popped off.
Yeah, I can do that. Give me a good image of that, and I'll send it on.
Flip it, forward it to you.
It's easy to find one, whether it's from the regular videos or not. As the battle began, you can get a good image of it. All right, nice. Okay, so we fade out from there as you're all getting your vehicle and drive off the streets of Solaris City to go to O'Neill's Battlemechs. And it takes you a little while to get there, just because of traffic and whatnot. But you do eventually pull up in front of O'Neill's, and we'll say it's probably early evening at this point. That the exhibition match was a daytime affair. Mm-hmm. And there's a nice front office, but beyond the fence you can hear the sounds of various machines moving around and stuff happening, and the sounds of construction in this large kind of garage area. And O'Neill's is it's in a little bit of a rougher part of the reaches, but it's close enough to one of the city districts where there's not too much trouble. So you feel, I guess, relatively safe here. But yeah, there's the door to the front office, and of course, you can see like the large perimeter fence that's going around there. But yeah, you can go on in if you like.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm gonna head on in at least. I don't know about these guys.
Well, wait, before
I'm
you
going in
go,
strapped.
I was gonna say, does everybody have a weapon?
Are we getting vibes of the last time?
Hey, I didn't want to get in the car after last time, but
God, I took those lessons.
Oh.
Yes, I've got a weapon on me.
I do have
Finally.
a weapon on me. It wasn't in my inventory, but I did find it.
Nice.
I'm afraid we'll end up owing a few favors after this.
That's all this job is.
Luca, I will say at the bare minimum, you know the head of O'Neill's Battlemechs, and her name is Andrea O'Neill. Like, you know her. And you may have even seen her in passing or something. However, if you'd like to spend a plot point, you are able to enhance that relationship in any way that you would like, if you want to do that. And as a reminder, every time you spend a plot point, I get that point as a GM to use later.
Okay, so yes, you do get a plot point for later.
All right.
Don't bite me with it.
We'll see how that goes.
I wouldn't say friendly. We've hung out for drinks a couple of times.
Oh, okay. So
in
it's
more than professional capacity. So
okay. All right.
So,
nice. So that alone gets you past the receptionist, because normally, obviously, her schedule is extremely busy, but because it's you, and you're quickly ushered in past that, back towards her office, and it's actually. It is the office is sort of a combination of 70s era paneling chic and and a little bit of higher end glass and chromeware around there. And she opens up the door for you as the four of you approach. Luca, I'm so sorry to hear what happened. How's Chester? Is he okay?
Stuff I got, he's still in surgery, so it's gonna be a little bit of some pretty extensive damage. We're all grateful he's alive still.
Yeah, no, that's good to hear. I mean, he's quite the personality, and I would hate. I mean, he's good for the games, and I'd hate to see anything happen to him. Speaking of good for the games, you there, Elroy? Hey, I see that you're making a bit of an impact.
Hey, we all do what we can, and let me tell you, just another battlefield, right?
Just another battlefield, just another paycheck. So, Andrea or Luca, what can I do for you? Oh, and it's drinks. Anybody drink?
I'm while all this is going on, I'm looking around. I'm making sure we don't have any other eyes on us or people watching us or.
Make me a perception check.
You just kind of see Luca give you this like side eye, but they ignore you for the most part.
Really quick, the bonus is the one in the at the very end, right? So it's
yes,
D6 plus
in parentheses. Yep. So yep.
All right, so that is going to be 13.
13. There are obviously security cameras in here, but it doesn't. You're the only ones in the office with Andrea. The receptionist was outside, and there was at least one person who was sitting on a couch that looked like he might have been a tech. Maybe on break, but maybe not. Hard to tell.
No, Andrea, we heard that you did the last bit of work on the dragon from Killer Miller. We're kind of concerned something may have malfunctioned on
Miller's
his
Dragon.
mech. Yeah, at least that's what was registered.
She looks over on her laptop and taps a few keys. I'm not. That was the vampire stables, right?
Vampire, yeah.
I don't.
You don't do work for a vampire.
Well, I mean, we have, but not.
Not
I'm
recently.
looking on a modified on a dragon. I'm not seeing anything like that.
What's the last bit of work you did for them? Just even in
Oh,
general.
that was a while. Hold on. And she keys Frederick. Will you look up the last time we did business with the vampires? Just let me know, and let me know what the mech work was. Right away. Yeah, well, I mean, I'm not seeing it in my database here, but sometimes some of the way the stuff flows doesn't always make it out here. Is that, I mean, why are you saying it's us?
I'm not saying
I
it's
mean,
y'all at all.
why are you thinking it's us? I'm sorry, I don't want to.
Just trying to trace the paperwork. I want to make sure whatever malfunction doesn't malfunction again, whether it was on our mech or their mech. But I'm thinking it might be their mech. And have you seen any of the vids that have come out?
Well, I mean, I've looked at some of the footage. I mean, that was a pretty spectacular hit. I mean, no, I mean, like I said, I'm glad he's doing good, but um, yeah, I don't know. That was a weird energy fluctuation there for sure. I mean, but it looked like it might have been PPC hit. I don't know. And she kind of looks towards you, Raph and Dash, um, when she says that. But I'm not sure. I'd have to go do a closer analysis. I've got a lot of things going on. We just had to fire somebody recently, and it's kind of been a mess lately.
You had to fire somebody recently.
Yeah. Oh gosh, yeah. We had a oh jeez. And she puts her feet up on her desk. It is so hard to keep like really really good techs. They all have issues, right? I mean, they all have problems. Um, yeah, we had a guy, and look, I'll tell you because it's you. Um, but yeah, we had a tech, and he was pretty smart. He Cecil was his name, Cecil, and she hits her intercom again. Frederick, who was it that we just let go not too a couple weeks back? Cecil, who was it? And he's like, it was McPherson, ma'am. Cecil McPherson. That's who it was. Smart guy. Yeah, knew his weapons tech. Great guy. In that respect, but he had a lot of personal issues that started to get in his way to performing his duties properly, and we had to let him go. And I feel that he may, and then she stops, and then she just, well, yeah, I think that, yeah, I think that yeah, we had to let him go, and he was a problem. Let's just put it
Right.
that way.
I pick
Yeah.
up a piece of paper and I might have it in my pack or something. Maybe it's a picture, one of my pictures of myself, and I write on there. I'm like, kind of interrupting. Hey, does this look like a pretty good autograph? I show it to you, Luca, and instead of an autograph, it says, "This is your friend. Is she lying or hiding stuff?"
Hiding. Ooh, would I
And
know that
yeah,
actually?
yeah, I'm writing that out. It's on the autograph. I don't say any of that out loud. And then I'm like, nah, it's probably crap, and I tear it up.
That's pretty clever. I'll give you a plot point for that. Job well done there. That was pretty sneaky. Yeah, go ahead and make this would probably, I think this would also probably be perception, I'm thinking. Um, and because I'll give you this, because you do know her, I'm actually going to remove a die. I would normally make this average, but I will remove a die and make this an easy test, so it'll just be 2d6.
All right.
My dice hate me today.
Well, hopefully they were lower than a 10 because my dice are not treating me all that well too.
It was much lower than a 10. It was a 4.
Okay, then hey.
She's not, well, she's not purposely hiding, but she definitely stopped. She
Mhm.
like she wanted to say more about it, but maybe she had like a sudden, piece of moral fiber in regards to, you know, HR laws, though there's not really much for HR laws here in Solaris. But maybe, she didn't want to get into, and I don't know, get into it, but she was about to say something, but then she definitely pulled herself back.
Was Cecil working on any kind of weapon development for you?
Oh yeah, yeah. Like I said, he was a weapon systems tech. His expertise was hold on, GM has to get back to his adventure so I get the term correctly. Yeah, he was an expert really in particle mechanics. So yeah,
But anything new, like miniaturized?
always working on new stuff, and in
Also,
her
he was like,
face kind of like grimaces a bit. And her eyes narrow, but yeah, always working on new things. But yeah, I mean, he loved, so like I said, his expertise was particle stuff, so he's always looking at ways to getting more out of, PPCs, all of that kind of stuff. He just, some of it absolutely went over my head. I mean, we can talk tech if you want, but I mean, that was kind of where he focused. I mean,
So
I was sad to see him go, but we
did
had to
he?
let him go.
Did you have any kind of agreements with him not to develop for anybody else for a certain amount of time?
Um, and she looks down, and you can see she grimaces again. We always have a brief non-compete clause with that kind of stuff. Yes, as far as I know, he's doesn't have employment anywhere at the moment, but I don't really track that. We can't.
that's a hard thing to track.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna put a little trust in Andrea at the very least.
Okay.
This doesn't go beyond you or me, Andrea, or the other three, because I trust them. Still unsure about Elroy, but I trust him. He's the probie. Um, you don't think Cecil would have done something way underboard, do you? Was he that kind of person? Because if he threatened your business, that would annoy me. I like you too much. I like your business.
She takes her feet off the table and she leans forward. Okay. All right. You're gonna trust me. You know what? I'm gonna trust you. We had to let him go. He had tremendous gambling issues, a lot of debt. Couldn't really control himself in that way. We caught him embezzling a little bit of money, selling off some parts here and there, and we let the first couple of things slide because, like I said, he was brilliant, but you can only go so far.
Yeah.
We then So we let him go, and look, I'm embarrassed to admit that. I know that we've done some work for you in the past. I would love to get your business in the future. I don't want you to look at this as a reflection of how we run things when it comes to security here. But he spirited off with a number of pieces of experimental tech that he was working on and that the other techs were working on, and all of the information associated with it. And I really would like to get that back.
Would this happen to be a miniaturized projectile with a PPC load on it?
Well, and then she she taps a few more things on her keypad, and then she hits a button on the intercom. She's like, Frederick, will you seal it, please? And then you hear like this sort of in the room, like there's something in the doors or walls that has activated. And then she just kind of looks and winks at you, Luca, and says, can never be too careful. And she looks over in your direction, Raph. She says, this weapon, yeah, it was experimental. What it is, essentially, it is sort of a battering ram, so to speak. And it shoots out, it's only good in physical melee range. But you get in there, you launch the ram, shoots out, and it's designed to puncture the armor of the mech and get you right inside to its guts. Once in there, it discharges, and again, this is where the tech goes beyond my reckoning, but this was where Cecil was good. It discharges a variation of the particle field from a particle projection cannon that can cause a lot of internal damage easily. Instead of stripping away all the armor the hard way, if you can get in there and get right up in there, this ram just punches through, makes the discharge on the inside, and causes all manner of problems. We were really close to getting this thing to work correctly, but and I really want it back because I think that this could really kind of excite, kind of thrill up the matches a little bit. But we hadn't. There was some heat issues related to it, and there was also just some safety concerns. You know how it goes. Safety is kind of in quotes, but there was some legitimate safety concerns that we couldn't fully control.
Yeah, safety beyond what's acceptable.
Yeah.
Hey, or Luca, should we show her? Can she be trusted that far?
Yeah. Would it look something like this if it goes wrong? And the other angle that's the weird angle.
The one that we cleaned up and.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she holds up the data pad, and she's you can see her watching it and like scrolling back and forth. Gosh, that could be it. I mean, it discharges fast when it comes out. So I mean, this frozen frame here, that could be the RAM.
And that explains the weirdness that I found when I did the scans, because it had the hallmarks of a PPC hit, but it was really different.
Right, yeah, and it's only supposed to do the discharge internally, so the RAM makes it look like it could have just been like from a punch or a kick or whatever. That son of a bitch. Yeah, that's our tech, and if you can find him, because when we found out we'd stolen, we put out some calls. We have not been able to find him or get word on him, so I don't know where he is. But if you can find him and you can get back the tech, you know what? I'll tell you what. We'll take care of Chester's Marauder on the house.
All right.
I believe I know someone who can help us with that little problem. That happens to be one of my cues.
Oh,
nice.
All right. Go on, please. I want to hear this. Who is this person?
Back when I was in the military, I get to know a lot of folks, and one of them's a tracker. So, my friend Joe, if you need someone found, Joe can do it.
Nice. All right, I like that. I'm gonna have you spend a plot point for that,
Sure.
and that with that spend, that is not only do you know that guy, but you also are able to get a hold of him, and he's not busy.
All right, that's fair. More than fair. Thank you.
Payoff.
Rules wise, by the way, I realized I didn't explain this in the beginning. For those of you watching, there are things in the character sheet that are called cues, because I believe the name of the system is actually like the cue system. And cues are words and phrases that are tied to your character, things that your character might say or actions that your character might do. And you can use them at a point during the game to sort of take over the narration or take the story in a certain way. The spending of the plot point, that's me, but I liked the idea a lot, and so I'm happy to have you spend that, because when you spend the plot point, I get that plot point. So um so yeah, you're able to get, what was his name? You said, was it
Oh,
Joe? Yeah. You are absolutely able to get a hold of him. He is currently in his apartment in Solaris City, and he answers his comm, uh, and he says, "Dash, I haven't heard from you in quite some time. What can I
no,
do
it's
for you?"
well. I'm coming to you in need. I apologize for that, but we'll have to get some drinks another time.
I get it.
Um,
You're busy, man. You're on the rocket, heading towards the moons. Although it's kind of a bummer about that Stitch guy. Although I gotta say, I've been seeing a lot of pretty funny memes. I mean, I'm assuming he's okay. I don't know.
yeah. He's gonna be just fine. He's in good hands.
All right, all right. Yeah, man. What can I do for you?
I need you to find a guy.
That is what I
Cecil.
that is what I do.
Yes, it is. That's why I'm coming to you, because you're the best.
All right. Cecil, what was his name?
Um, Luca.
Uh,
Luca. What was his last name?
McPherson.
McPherson. Cecil McPherson.
Yeah.
All right, Cecil McPherson. What's his field? Like, what does he do? Where?
Weapons tech.
He's a weapons tech. Okay, is he with any firm right now?
He just got let go from O'Neill's.
Okay, okay, all right. Why was he let go? What happened?
Um,
Just personal reasons, incompatibility with the company.
Okay, all
But
right.
he did a little bit of work for my mech, and I kind of want to get those notes just so I have proper paperwork.
Oh, stole a little of the company property. Is that what I'm hearing?
not from us.
Okay, all right,
Yeah, from me personally, but I want to get a little payback.
sure. Oh, I get that. Okay, okay. Anything else I need to know about Mr. McPherson?
The last thing the last mech he worked on was for the Vampire Stables. That's the only real lead we have on where he might have been.
All right. Okay, Vampire Stables Fearson is weapons tech, formerly of O'Neill's. Yeah, this guy sounds like a real bookworm. Okay.
Bookworm and bookie worm.
Bookie. Oh, he's a
Had that
gambler.
had apparently.
Oh, well then, Dash, this job just got easier for your little group. I'm sure I can find this guy pretty quick. Give me a couple hours, I'll see what I can find. It'll at least give me a good direction to go, and then I'll let you know.
No, you're the best, and drinks are on me.
I'm gonna hold you to.
Oh yeah.
All right. Nice. Okay. He he goes to work. Luca, you do get a condition update on Stitch in that he is out of surgery. He is stable but in serious condition. You don't hear any more things like that, but it's within about it's not maybe 15 minutes after that, you start getting things from reporters saying, I heard Stitch lost his left arm. Is this true? I heard Stitch is going to get a cybernetic arm. Is this true? Stitch had his right eye blown out in the accident. What's your opinion on Cyber Eyes in regards to Mechwarrior improvements?
I'm not going to answer those texts just yet. How close are we to the hospital? Because it is time that I paid, a visit. Getting better in person.
You can be plot distance close.
Okay, I'll be plot distance close enough.
All right. Absolutely. Yeah, you get ushered. You get ushered right through, to at least to the ICU where he is currently in.
Okay.
And the doctor is there, and she comes out, and she's got her little note pewter there, and she looks at you. Suppose you're looking for a little update?
Yeah, something more than the text can give me. I'm being hounded, and I'd like to get the press off my back for just a little bit longer.
Right. Well, he he did pull out of surgery. We did have to do a lot of work on him. Got a lot of muscular damage, some broken bones. Um, there's some swelling in his brain, um, and not just from his attitude. Sorry. I mean, I know the guy. I had to make that joke. I'm sorry. I mean, of course, it won't be funny if he dies, but at the same time, it's still kind of funny. Anyway, yeah, he's. But we've got that under control, at least for now. But it's he's still got a lot of journey ahead of him there, as far as that goes.
Yeah. How much of him pulled through
Ah,
physically?
um, she looks around. Okay, so he did lose his left arm, and there's some serious damage to his left leg, but we were able to save that. But he's definitely gonna. There's gonna be some recovery going on there. A lot of burns on there. But I mean, he should pull through. Um, he's not going to be as handsome as he was, but you know,
Some girls might find the scars a little more attractive.
yeah, some do. So you know, my field, it just I usually know what causes those things, so it's
It's
there's
not
not
attractive
really.
to you.
Nah, it's not attractive to me. It's not attractive to me. I sit there and I they say you want to know how I got these scars, and I say yeah, I already know. I can tell by the way it healed. You know. So and they say, "Oh, you're such a joker," and then it just becomes a whole thing at that point.
No, I get it. Trust me.
Yeah.
I have a random question, and
Okay. Yeah.
this is not a request for souvenirs. This is actual genuine curiosity. Raph and Dash want some of the shrapnel if there was any to dig out.
Oh, I can check with the biohazard unit, but I can see what I can do for you.
Yeah, it hasn't
Sure.
been destroyed yet. I know bio laws are things, but
Well, yeah, there's a lot of things that are things here in Solaris, but you know as well as I how this
things.
stuff works. Yeah,
Mhm.
things. Yeah. But yeah, I'll and if you want me just to have him, if I can get them, do you want them have them brought back to uh,
Yeah,
your office?
yeah.
Okay.
Don't put what's on them on the packaging.
We can keep it in the standard nondescript brown package.
Thank you. I owe you one for that one.
I appreciate that. I'll remember that.
Uh, don't suppose there's a way I can just like see him for a brief moment. I'm gonna give him a
Um,
message.
yeah. All right. Yeah. Let me walk you in there.
All right.
And yeah, she takes you through to ICU, and you know, you get like a little sterile helmet or whatever to put on just to keep things clean. But yeah, it brings you back there, and yeah, he's a mess of bandages. Um, about the only thing that you see that you know looks recognizable is you know parts of his hair have come up through you know things there, and he's you know he does have a bandage over his right eye, and you know yeah, but he's laying there, all kinds of tubes and everything.
Yeah. So, uh, she's not gonna try, or Luca's not gonna try to wake him up, but they do kind of go over to his side, takes his hand for a moment, leans down, and says, "You better pull through this, you son of a bitch. And this isn't where you check out. Not on my watch."
I'm gonna make a roll for Chester to see. Hold on. Oh, okay. All right. Hold on. We're gonna call this. Okay. So you do that. You think for a second that maybe you might have felt like a squeeze to your hand, but then you realize that it was probably some sort of involuntary twitch, just from the medically induced coma that he is in.
Hmm. I mean, hey, I've been there before. I, as a player, I've actually been there before. It's a fun state. Um, but that being said, Luca's satisfied with that. I mean, whether or not He
I
heard
just like the fact that you called him a son of a bitch. I think that is awesome.
It's a very affectionate
It
sort
is.
of.
It's,
Son of a
yeah.
bitch.
It's
Like-
the affectionate son of a bitch.
Yeah, it's like, God damn it, I'm not. Like, I'm mad at you, but I care about you, sort of son of a bitch.
And what is with the stable losing arms?
All right.
Hey, I might know where a replacement is. Check the cup holders.
All right. So we'll fade out from there, and for purposes of time, we will say that Dash, you are contacted by Joe, and he has a tremendous amount of good news for you. He did find Cecil, and he's not only in town, he knows where he currently is actually right now, and it is getting into evening time. He is at a kind of it's a bar in Solaris City, obviously. It is sort of a Mechwarrior, either like some Mechwarriors will hang out there. People who are like really into that sort of thing, they'll hang out there. A lot of fans and groupies and whatnot will hang there. But it is a bar called Lance Revolution. Um, and just
Yes.
for those of you who don't know BattleTech, the Lance is a term, it's a military unit term for a group of 4 mechs. But this, yeah, it's called Lance Revolution. So it's kind of a club sort of scene, as well as catering to the BattleTechness. And yeah, and he basically like leaves the message like he's literally there right now. Looks like he's having a decent time. And then he ends his message with the drink emoji.
All right. Listen up, folks. We got a lead on Cecil. He's at this bar right now, so I think that we need to head there pronto.
I could certainly use a drink or a little physical exercise after seeing Dash. Or Chester, not Dash, you're Dash.
Yeah, but remember, we're going there on business. We're not there to party.
Why can't we do both?
I know. And this
This
what
is
my job
Solaris,
is?
man. Come on. Business is a party, and a party is a business.
Come on, it's time to Lance Revolution.
Did they really name it that?
I wish I could say that I was clever enough to come up with that, but I actually hit up some BattleTech friends of mine who one of them gave me that name, so that's I think I'm gonna give credit to them for that.
pretty
I believe
awesome.
that was. Anyway,
Absolutely
so yeah,
brilliant, but still, just like
I know it's friggin' genius. I loved it, so I couldn't not use it. So you pull up in front of Lance Revolution, and it's in a busier part of town for sure. The streets are clogged with vehicles and people coming to and fro. You're able to get into the club no problem. Techno music thumps. The bass has definitely dropped at this point, and there's dancing going on. The neon is spinning and flashing. And yeah, it seems almost like on a little bit of an upscale club. You do know what Cecil looks like. You were given some information, and it does appear that he is seated at a table. It's not in the VIP area, but he does kind of have like this larger booth sort of setup, and he's there with a number of people hanging out, having drinks, all of that kind of stuff. Yeah, what would you like to do?
Are we going right over there, or are we just gonna scope it out for a bit?
let's
Scope.
scope it out.
I'd be
Alright.
particularly looking to see if any of them look like they're pretending to just be a party person, but they're security.
All right, why don't you all give me perception checks all the way around, and
Cool.
let's see let's say this will be of an average difficulty.
I got a 9.
9, okay.
At 14.
14,
11.
11. Dash, you got a 10? Damn it, you guys all beat me. All right, I got a 9 as well. So, in your respective fields, Luca, you can tell that of the people who are kind of hanging out, it looks like a couple of them are with the vampire stables. You're not sure exactly what they do, but they have on their jackets markings that mark them of being from the vampire stables. Dash, you're looking for security type things. Actually, this would be for Dash and for Elroy. You guys can tell who in the group is a hanger-on or a party groupie, and who is security. Like you can both really kind of peg that out. And for you, Raph, it looks like they're being left alone, but for sure, Cecil is sort of the center of attention in this, and they're all kind of catering to him as well. And you can see too. It looks like how he's dressed. He's got something under his coat, not necessarily a weapon. But it looks like it could be a data pad or a note pewter of some sort.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
what y'all see.
I'm gonna relay, that I noticed that he does seem to be the center of attention. That they're catering to him, so if we try to confront him, it might get messy.
I just kind of give a side eye at Elroy and just kind of, see what's going on over there.
Well, here's the thing. How do y'all want to deal with this? Do we want to try and be friendly, or do we want to try and not be friendly? Because quite frankly, they're going to make us as who we are pretty soon.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty distinctive. They're going to recognize me, but we can use that to our advantage. I could always be a distraction.
Yeah, that worked out great last time, actually.
I know, right?
You want to offer to hire him?
Ooh.
I could, but I'm not sure the vampire security will
Well, hell,
appreciate
that's
me
why
approaching.
that's why you got me and Dash.
Handle them.
You
If
know
they
what?
choose to get rowdy in this setting.
Hopefully, whatever we need's on that pad that he's got there.
Do you think you can take out the security guys if things go south?
I'm pretty sure I can win him over with my charm.
Hopefully a good right hook.
Well, no, charm's what I
Alright.
named my pistol.
Oh, even better.
All right. So what are you gonna do?
On pistols.
So Luca is going to, this is not going to do the smart thing, but it's going to be the fun thing. Luca's going to go into girl mode, essentially. Just kind of shake out her hair and things like that and approach the table.
Okay.
With a
All right.
very charming smile. Very obviously still in Luca mode, but kind of more feminine presenting and hopefully a little bit less signs of danger, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're okay with it, I'll tag along so I can do the techno babble and maybe seem even less aggressive, just like, text sharing tech stuff.
You're our goofy tech. I'm going to take you along with me.
Okay.
All right. Like that. All right. What are the other two of you doing?
I'm gonna side over to Dash. I'm gonna be like, I think one of us should stay back and one of us should go with them, or at least near them, just for a sign of solidarity. But one of us should be a secret weapon. Which one do you want to be?
I think that they're less likely to know about you, so I think you should be secret weapon.
Awesome, I like it. You go for it, buddy.
All right.
All right, Lucas. So go ahead. Tell me how this plays out as the two of you approach, as you and Raph approach. Like what happens? What what? Go ahead and just dive into it, and I'll let
Dust
you know.
myself off.
Luke is nothing but smiles and, a little bit of fawning, but not a whole lot. Just enough impressed in her voice. Hey, I know we're not technically on the best of terms at the moment. I'm playing off of Elroy, apparently, with my accent. But,
My charm's infectious.
you boys did pretty good today. I've got a question for y'all. Directing it at Cecil, but keeping aware of the, you said there were two of the vampire guys?
Yes, two.
But keeping an eye on the two vampire guys. So, but she's directing her attention to Cecil. Being very...
Okay, and I'm sorry. And what was the last thing you said? You said that they did good out there today, and then what?
I know we're not on the best terms. Y'all did good out there today. I'm very impressed, and I might want to talk a little business if you know a quieter place in this establishment. Your choice. We talk here, or it's a little hard to hear over the bass.
Cecil, he looks around and he says, "Well, what kind of business are you talking about?"
I've heard some good things about your weaponry. I'm kind of curious.
And you can see that telltale like bead of sweat come down the side of his face, and he kind of and then one of the vampires people go, ho 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 ho, are you seriously trying to poach our tech? Is that what you're about to do?
No, not poach. I'm not a poacher. I just have some questions for him, and I'm willing to pay for him.
What's the matter? You just can't be a sore loser like Stitch? Or I bet he's pretty sore, because Miller really put a number on him, didn't he?
Oh yeah, you should see it. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah. I think maybe you should just be, happy with the fact that he got out of there alive. I mean, I'm assuming he's still alive, right?
For the moment.
Cecil's like, well, wait a second, but she said pay. I mean, so it's kind of like a side hustle, guy. So I'm sure it's gonna be okay. No. You sit down there, white coat. We're not doing this right now.
Oh, come on, boys. This is for me personally.
For you personally, how so? I mean, you're your stable, right? I mean, this is.
I may represent the Black Lions, but that's not the only thing I do. How else do you think I got this little bag of party favors?
Ooh, what are you showing him?
I have no idea what's in this contraband. I'm going to leave that up to you because I have no idea.
The stash of contraband from your inventory? Okay, yeah. That's awesome. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I have no idea what would be in it, but that's in my inventory, and it's just kind of tucked into the inner jacket pocket.
You flash that, and the first guy is like, all right, that sounds good, and he kind of backs off, and then he looks at Cecil and just kind of gives him a nod. So Cecil gets up to go with you, to go talk, and you get sort of to the perimeter of the table area where it is, and I'm gonna splend a pot point. Spend a plot point. Listen, it's so funny when I was running the test thing of this game, I couldn't for the life of me say spend a plot point. It just kept coming out wrong every single time. So expect that to happen. But I'm gonna spend a plot point, and you get there. You get right to the edge, and then suddenly, like from a couple of different spots, a few more bodies emerge. There's a hand put on Cecil's shoulder. And Luca, from your angle, you can see for sure that these are a couple more vampire stables people, but a large hand is put on Cecil's shoulder, and you dead stop, and then someone grabs your arm, and hold on, and then you hear a voice saying, "No, no, no, this ain't going nowhere. And if you don't want to get hurt, you better get out." And I think that is where we should take a break.
All
And then we
right.
can come back and resolve that. Does that work? Does that work for a break?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Let's do it.
All right,
Might give
everybody. We're gonna, yeah. Sorry.
Chance because I just saw it stream.
Yeah,
I'm
we're going to
watching
go ahead
that.
and take a 10-minute break then, and everybody be here for the thrilling continuation. We're an hour and a half in. We got an hour and a half to go, so we'll see y'all in just 10 minutes. All right, and we are live, and welcome back, everyone. It's Seriously Let's Play here on a Saturday afternoon. So my name is John with Rook and Rasp, and we're going to turn it back over to Chris to get us back into the action.
Yeah, welcome back. And we left things actually right before the action was about to ensue. And you had found Cecil McPherson, the engineer you believe responsible for the unregistered tech that was used to almost kill Chester Stitch and certainly made him lose the match. You had socially done pretty well to try and get him away from his vampire stable's caretakers. But you were just reaching the, what would it be? I guess be the edge of safety, and a couple more popped out from the crowd in the bar that you're in, Lance Revolution, and stopped you cold. And it is very clear on your face, Luca, as they look at you and look at Cecil, that they don't like what it is that you're doing, and the grip on your arm is tight as this Mechwarrior looks you down, and you can see he's bought into the whole vampire stable's name a bit too much, and his face is very kind of pale. His lips are probably a little bit redder than they should be, and he smiles at you, and you swear that you see maybe a couple sharpened canines, and he says, "I know what you're going to try and do here, Luca, and I can't let that happen."
I don't know what you're talking about. I just wanted to trade party favors. Also, really, that look? Playing a little too much to trope there, buddy.
The rest of you, what are you doing as you see here? The situation's not looking good for Luca and Raph, for that matter, because Raph, you've got one dude, he's basically trying to stare you down, and it looks like things are about to turn violent. So what would you guys like to do?
The one that's staring me down, I'm just giving him flat eye stare back, like, you know what? I work with pilots all the time. You're not going to intimidate me.
Nice. He's just trying. He's doing his best to posture. Chest is puffed up as much as he can make it, and he's not responding to you in any way. Elroy, Dash.
What section of town is this club in?
Oh, like which district?
Yeah, which district?
We will say that it is in the Liren sector.
All right. I'm going to probably I'll see if I'll look at Dash and say, hey Dash, should I make a distraction? Should we help out here? What do you think?
I think this is gonna go down. So I'm gonna tell that guy to take his hands off of Luca, and then I think we're gonna tussle.
I'm gonna yell out then, and I'm gonna as loud as I can, and I'm gonna say, "Hey, that guy just said that House Lyran is nothing but a bunch of worms," pointing at the guy that's got a grab on Luca.
Nice.
And
right.
try and see if I can get some more people to join in with us.
All right, we're going to have you do just an attribute check on this, which is going to be 2d6 plus your charisma twice. So it's basically 2d6 plus your charisma. And
all right, so my
if
total...
you want to spend, I'm going to make this hard because the music is thumping. However, if you want to spend a plot point, I'll absolutely drop a die out of there.
I had an extra.
Okay.
So yeah, so I get to you drop a die or I roll an extra die.
I'm gonna drop a die, so it goes from hard to average, roll it.
All right. So I rolled a 5 and a 3. My charisma is a 2, so that's going to put me at 10, 11, 12.
12, which beats my 10. So that was actually a good spend of a plot point. And yeah, there comes like this moment just as the DJ is about to switch, and for some reason he's slightly off his game, so the songs don't blend into each other. There's actually a gap of silence, and you shout that out, and you see a number of heads turn, and it does sort of create a bit of a distraction. And Luca, you feel the grip loosen slightly. Raph, the guy who's meeting your stare, his head twitches as he looks towards the sound of the noise. And Dash, you're moving up, and let's actually drop into initiative here for this. And the way this works in Destiny, when you use it, is you roll 2d6, and then you add your general skill bonus, and skill meaning are you green, regular, veteran, or elite as far as your character. And right now all your characters are regular, so that bonus would be +0, so this is just a straight 2d6 roll. And let me know what you got.
Unlike last game, I rolled an 11, so that's amazing for me.
Nice.
It was 2d6 plus what?
2d6 +0.
Wow. I got a 6.
Oh no,
Go ahead, Luca. What'd you get?
I got a 7. So
7? All right, and Dash,
Ah,
you got a 5?
yeah.
So
Nice.
y'all rolled like I was for initiative last game.
Well, I mean, it's very amusing how they just kept dropping. However, staying true to my ability to roll dice with any sort of coherent skill, I got a 4. So highest goes first, and so you're all going to go before I do, as far as taking actions. So, Raph, you're actually first. What would you like to do? The dude who was staring you down, he looked away from you. He has dropped his guard.
I'm going to take that advantage and sucker punch him.
Nice. All right. So I got to call up my dudes here. That is going to be melee combat.
Okay.
And I'm going to say because okay, that's 2d6 plus his reflexes twice. All right. So yeah, 2d6 plus his reflexes twice is your target number, and then you're making your melee combat roll. So go ahead and roll it.
Right, I'm trying to find. So is that just 2d6?
It would be 2d6. Do you have melee combat as
Trying
a
to
skill?
see. No.
Okay. So
Well, it's just a straight 2d6.
it would be because it would be an untrained skill.
Okay.
Oh, boy. Sorry.
And that's the thing. You can 100% spend a plot point to give yourself some sort of advantage, or to make this. And whatever you describe, I can apply various modifiers.
I don't want to. You know what? Okay, I'm going to spend a plot point.
Okay. What would you like to do with that?
I'm going to reach into my pocket and pull out a set of brass knuckles
Okay. Nice. All right.
to help reinforce that punch.
Okay. Absolutely. Yeah, you have been kind of stealthing that out, and you've got it. And I'll give you, since you're spending, I'll give you a little bit more for that. An untrained skill, I believe, is. Hold on, I got to find that. That actually is going to be. It's 2d6 plus your linked attribute. You don't have the skill rating, so yeah, just 2d6 plus the linked attribute.
Okay. So chat gave me a reroll.
Matt in chat, thank you very much.
Yeah,
Bob,
thanks.
reroll.
Yeah, all right.
Oh, okay. That helps. That's 10.
10. That's pretty good. And yeah, he actually got a 9. So you come around and you just lay into him with these brass knuckles, and I'll apply some appropriate damage. And it staggers him back, actually, and he goes over sort of like this low counter, which was, kind of being part of the ring of the area that you're on. And because you caught him off guard, he stumbles back over, hits the ground. He's not out, but he's definitely hurt. And that brings us to Luca.
all right.
So the dude, he had, he loosened his grip on you as he's looking away at the distraction made by Elroy.
Yeah, I'm going to drop like dead weight and kick him in the knee on
Nice.
my way down.
Okay.
Like basic self-defense here.
Perfect.
It's untrained technically, but I mean, I kind of figure if I can at least,
Heck yeah.
take him by surprise.
Yeah, I will. I'll apply some penalties on his end because you are catching him off guard.
It's a 6 on the die plus strength doubled would be 8. If I'm doing that correctly.
It would be melee combat is actually linked to reflexes, I believe. So it would be your reflexes.
Then that would be a 10 because
Okay.
reflex doubled would be 4.
Yes, I got a shitty roll. I got like a 5. So yeah, you 100% you drop down and you're just smashing in the knee.
I kick out with. Yes.
Perfect. All right. And so that's gonna do that to him. All right. Yeah. And he just drops as he goes to clutch his knee. Which brings us to Elroy.
All right, and I will run across the floor with. I will draw my sword, and
Have a sword?
That escalated
Yes.
quickly.
I'm like,
Love it.
"You want distraction? Well, caw, motherfuckers!" And I'm going.
I'm gonna give you a plot point back for that. So.
I am going to, instead of striking with the blade, I'm striking it with the flat of it.
Okay.
I'll strike the other guy that's over here with trying to stop Luca. And so, yeah, and I'll go ahead and spend that plot point to take, on that hit.
Ooh, to make it a little bit easier to get him.
Yep.
Okay. All right. I will. Actually, then for that, I'll take away because you're going to catch him essentially flat-footed. So I'll take away his reflex bonuses that he would get to this. So he just gets a straight 2d6 roll.
All right, so that's going to be a 10 for me.
10, which does beat his 6 that he got. So yeah, you come up with that sword, the flat of that sword, and where are you smacking him?
I would personally, I prefer to like smack him on the side of the head.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. And this was the dude that Luca just kneed. Okay.
Well, were there 2 people trying to stop them, or?
The other person was in front of Cecil.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, I did call for Luca, so that one goes down.
Nice, yeah. So yeah, Luca plants that knee, and that brings him down, and it almost like serves his head up to you just perfectly, and you just run forward and smack right on the back of it. He just pancakes to the ground as you lay into that, and then that brings us to Dash.
So the person that's next to Cecil, are they still like sitting in the back of the booth, or where are they right now?
They're standing essentially right in front of him, just like the guy who Luca and Elroy downed was standing in front of them, and so yeah, he's standing there and he's got just a hand on Cecil's shoulder.
So is the booth like behind him? Because I think I got on maybe.
Yes,
Like
yeah.
run up and like just bulldoze the security guy to separate him from Cecil.
Nice.
Tackle.
All right, yeah, that would still, I think that still would put that into the melee category, which looks like okay, so that would be an untrained, so it would be 2d6 plus your reflexes.
All right. 11.
11. Wait, that's right. I got to roll here in pose. Yeah. Forget my own damn rules. That is going to succeed. So yeah, you just slam into him, and it sends him kind of stumbling. And Luca, you're able to get step out of the way just in time as Dash dashes forward and slams into him, and this guy just goes sprawling into the booth area and just smashes through the table. Glass and crystal and everything just goes spilling and breaking everywhere at this point, and then that brings it to me. So we got we have one guy who got knocked over. He's getting back up, and he's coming for your Raph. He's trying to scramble back up to throw a punch your way. So actually, let's resolve that, and then we'll talk about everything else that's going to happen here. Let's see, his melee combat is that. So your defense, Raph, would be 2d6 plus your reflexes
Plus
twice.
reflexes. Okay.
And not roll to save my life.
12.
Well, he comes up and he tries to like vault over the low counter there, and he ends up stumbling and slipping on some alcohol or some liquid that's on there, and he just slips and he falls right at your feet, completely unable to get in any sort of move. Luca, the dude you downed, or the two of you downed, he's staying down, but he's rolling over, and it looks like he's reaching for something, either in his waistline or maybe possibly underneath his jacket. Could be a weapon of some sort, and he's struggling to try and get that out, but he's in a lot of pain at the moment. Let's see, the other dude, he busted up the table. I'm going to say there is one of the guys in the vampires there who wasn't affected. He was one of the people that you initially talked to, Luca. He comes forward. He sees Elroy with his sword out. And so he comes diving towards Elroy, and he's got a knife, and he's coming at you, knife leading the way.
Oh.
Ooh, that's not too bad. I may actually get a hit out of this. So yeah, you resist by going 2d6 plus your reflexes twice.
All right, so that is going to be 5 plus 3 is 8, plus my reflexes is 2 and 2, so I'm at 12.
Well, I did beat you. I actually did something successful.
Nice.
I got a 13. So yeah, he comes and he stabs forward with the knife, and okay, so now you're actually going to take some damage with this.
Hope you're a better pilot than you are a fighter.
And
These things happen.
It does. All right. However, your armor is actually going to help you from your flak jacket that you got on. So the knife catches the jacket. It does 3 points of damage. So if you look on your sheet, you'll see your armor there, and you've got all those little pips hanging out there. Basically, it does -2 damage, so it reduces the damage by 1. So you take to your armor 1 point of damage. So you would mark off one of those pips.
All right, I'm putting it in.
Chat.
I'm putting it on there so I also don't forget.
Attack rerolled.
Yep.
Chad, wait, is Chad conspiring against me? What the hell?
Yeah, they
Is it really? Do I have to do that? Do I have to re-roll?
Yeah, they spent 10,000 points.
Oh my god. Okay, we spent 10,000 points. All right. Well, I can't. Who am I to deny? And I will be honest with what I get, and I'm not going to use my loaded dice this time. Well, I'm gone back to form, and so I have rolled a total of an 8. With
sorry,
that,
dude.
so all of that, he still charges forward with the knife, but we'll say that you come around with your sword, and you slap that thing right out of his hand, and it goes skittering across the floor there. Wait, was that Rue that did that?
Yeah.
to me?
Yes,
it was. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So I guess you are a better fighter than you are a pilot.
Rue, I am hurt. I'm Doc, what you doing to me? You hurt me. I'm trying to hurt you. I'm trying to get a good fight going here, Doc. All right. Anyway, so that's the end. And then the bar starts to quickly devolve into this thing. Screams are happening. You can see in the distance bouncers are starting to make their way across. And you even kind of see the telltale flash of what is probably a stun stick of some sort. And Cecil, gosh damn it. All right, Cecil, he looks around for what to do, and in his in his panic here, because I rolled a 2, I rolled 2 1s, which is a crit fail in this game. He essentially just freezes for this round. He doesn't know whether to run or to stay, so he's stuck where it is. But now we got security coming in. It looks like maybe there's the vampires are starting to try and do something, although they haven't been able to do anything yet. And you're not sure what the crowd is here. And plus, Elroy just insulted the Lyran Commonwealth and its people, so that's not a good thing. We have all manner of things happening, but we're going to go back around to the beginning. And Raph, you are first.
So, can I grab Cecil and start heading for an exit?
Hell yes, you can.
Yeah, let's get out of here. I mean, the chaos is enough. I'm gonna look at Cecil's like, look, are you ready to leave so we can, get on with the job that we want to pay you?
He just kind of looks at you in the eye, and he's like,
Okay, yes, let's go.
all right. Make me, let's see. Ref, make me a strength roll. So give me 2d6 plus your strength twice.
Okay.
And
I just rolled a 12.
Nice.
Plus, so strength twice, that's 4, so 16.
16. That, even though I got a 9, 10, 11, that's still going to beat me. So you're able to grab Cecil, and you start pushing towards, you see where there was a back exit, and you start pushing him towards there, and he is not resisting you at this moment as you charge and try and make your way through the crowd.
And the whole time I'm tugging him along, I'm like, just a stream of talking, like, no, this is worth your while. You're going to be set. This is going to keep you comfortable for years. Just encouraging to keep him following.
Nice. And he's just sort of, okay, all right. And then that brings us to Luca. So you've got this down guy. He's scrambling to try and pull something either out of his jacket or his pants.
I apologize in advance, but making sure I'm not muted because the dog was whining a second ago. I apologize in advance because the next action Luca is going to take is to deliver a solid kick between his legs, just to keep him down.
This is why I like Luca. That's awesome.
Like, I'm gonna, take him out one way or the other. I apologize to anybody with that equipment.
Well, you know what? We can say it's New Year's Eve and the balls are about to drop. So go ahead and make that melee. Which wait, you don't have melee, right?
Do not have melee, so
it's 2d6 plus your reflexes. Your reflex is once. But what I'll do, because he's down on the ground and he's preoccupied, so you've got a bit of an attack advantage on here, I will just do his resistance as straight up 2d6 only.
That's 8 on the die plus 2 reflex, so that would be 10.
Nice. You beat my 5 doubles. So yeah, what kind of shoes does Luca wear?
Typically boots.
Boots,
usually
okay.
with the pretty chunky sole and heel.
Right.
For a little bit of extra height.
Yeah.
They don't need it, but they like it.
All right. Yeah, so heels leading the way, you just bam! And there is, for comedic effect, there's almost like this audible gasp from the entire assembly of the booth area. It's just like this huge, massive inhale by everyone there. But yeah, he just, as you plant that in there, and you see scattering out of from his hand as you do that, as he reaches forward, you do see a handgun that goes out of his hand and goes spinning into the booth area. Nicely done. And you can move if you want to as well, Luca, or just stay there, whatever you want to do.
I'm going to dive behind any sort of applicable cover, even if that means diving across the bar to behind the bar back.
Nice. All right. Are you following Raph, or are you going a different direction?
I think I'm going to go a different direction, and I'm making it look flashy, so eyes are on me.
Ooh, okay, nice. All right, I like it. All right, just for the hell of it, give me a
Would leadership be applicable?
Yeah, that could work. I was gonna say yeah, that would work. Leadership could work. Yeah, give me a leadership roll.
Mates. Oh, well, that's going to be an 11.
11. I actually succeeded. That's going to be a 15. So you're still doing that, but you're not sure over the din if it is being effective at all. But I will say, at the very least, you made eye contact with one of the security guards, the bouncers that's coming in. That brings us to Elroy.
Not sure that's a good thing.
I am hiding my sword fairly quickly and making my way out. If somebody tries to stop me, we'll worry about that at that point. But for the most part, I'm just like, well, my work is done here.
All right. Which way are you going? Are you following Luca, or are you going after Raph?
Luca looks like she's got stuff under control. She can probably talk her way out through the guards. She can probably get them to go after someone else. But I'd rather stick with the guy who, you know, possibly did the mechanical work. So I'm gonna follow him and make sure that we get him wherever we're going.
Perfect. All right. So you start plowing your way through there. Nice. Okay, and then that brings us to Dash.
Having seen Raph and Elroy go in that direction, I'll cover their tail. So I'll be a little less focused on getting myself and Cecil out of there, and a little more to make sure that nobody gets up behind them and catches them off guard.
Okay. All right. So yeah, you're essentially providing the you're watching the 6 as you
Yes.
head out of there.
Exactly.
Perfect. All right. Then that brings us to me. Okay, so Cecil, as you near the exit, he sort of finally snaps out of it, and he looks at you with just fear in his eyes, Raph, and he's like, "Hey, you're not going to kill me, are you?"
No, it's a job. I told you we're going to take care of this. We got money. We need we need you to do something. That's all that's going on here.
And as you go through the emergency exit door and the alarms go off, he's like, "Yeah, but no, really, I don't want to get killed." As you go through there, back in the bar, the vampires are starting to sort of come together, but they're not really sure what's happening. And their main guy is down on the ground, grabbing his entire lower midsection. As he's yelling, but you, Luca, you're going out this way, and one of the security guards, you're trying to attract attention and go through and try and sneak past the security guards, but one of them stops and grabs you, and he's like, hold on there, miss. He goes, you're not going anywhere. And he has his stun stick at the ready, but he's not like menacing you with it at all, but he's just trying to stop you because maybe he saw you over there, he's not sure, or maybe this was the one that you made eye contact with, you're not sure. The rest of you are able to get out, but Luca, what are you going to do at this point as he's got you?
I was just talking to one of my friends. Sir, I'm sorry. I don't know why they went after me, but I defended myself, and as I'm talking desperately, going to just shift positions ever so slightly so the security guard is between me and the rest of the vampires. Just kind of like hiding behind the security guard. Like,
nice. That sounds like a negotiation. Go ahead and roll that. We'll say this is average, because he probably hears this stuff all the time.
oh, well, that's going to be an 11.
It's going to be an 11, which, right now, I have beat you. I have a 13. Now, what you can do is you have edge, and so you can spend your edge to re-roll one or more of your dice, and you can also, and I didn't mention this before, actually, pre-game when we were talking, you can spend an edge to force me to re-roll one of my dice. One of my dice. And in this case, I got a 5 and 2 4s. So if you wanted to, you could force me to re-roll that 5, or you can go ahead and re-roll all of yours, whatever you want to do.
Does it have to be all of them, or just Can it be one
No,
of them?
no, you could do one or more of yours.
I'm going to reroll one of my dice because I rolled a 1 on one of those dice.
Nice.
So new result is going to be a 6. Wow, thank you.
That's much better.
On that die, so that's 11 on the die plus 5 for 16.
All right, so you make this plea to him as you're making your spin, and he just gives you like that security guard once over. He looks and he realizes you're probably not a threat, and there's likely going to be things he actually has to use this stun stick on, and so he just lets you go, and without saying a word, pushes deeper into the bar, and you are able to get out. And we'll fade out from Luca leaving the bar to where the four of you and Cecil are now in a safe spot, and you are able to talk to him about the whatever this job is that you have told him you're going to talk to him about. And he's looking at you, kind of nervous and suspicious, but he says, You're from the black lions, right?
Yeah.
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 So before we go any further, were you with the vampires on your own volition, or just because you owe them a massive amount because of certain habits of yours?
Okay, so they they offered me some help in taking care of a few of the debts that I had, because they offered to take care of a few of those if I helped them on a couple of their mechs.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
So I know the dragon is one of them.
Oh,
Miller.
hey, look, it's just business, right?
Actually,
And
no.
he's
You
like
broke the rules.
looking at all of your various sidearms. I mean, it's just business. I mean, I'm glad to hear he's okay.
Well, he needs a new arm. Do you care to donate?
Do our like trids or anything like, or any of our like cell phone esque items have like cameras?
Oh gosh, yeah.
I'm recording this while he's talking.
You're a
Nice.
step ahead of.
I'm gonna look at him and like, look, one weapons designer to another. We're not after you. We're after the vampires. They're the ones that broke the rules. They're the ones that used the unregistered weapon. Okay.
Yeah, hey, yeah. They told me that they were gonna register that, and I just said that I hate paperwork like that, and they said they were gonna take care of it all. I didn't know that they were gonna do that.
How the
So
hell
they
did that
did do
thing,
it.
how'd that thing even work?
His face just like brightens up all of a sudden. He goes, "It's fascinating," and he just launches into this explanation of the various physics involved in having this ram, shoot out, and how it's designed to puncture through the mech's armor to get to the internal structure before. And the real difficult part is getting the timing of the charge, because it has to happen very quickly, because the ram will pop out to break it, and before it recoils back in, you've got to get the charge off. And he says the timing is split second. Now, granted, there's a lot of heat issues. I didn't quite figure all that stuff out, but it's it'll work. I just need a few more test runs with it. I'm really close. I mean, I'm glad Killer Miller didn't suffer too much radiation damage, but that's one of the other things I got to figure out.
Do you have the schematics with you on your data pad?
Oh yeah, and he's like completely lost sense of what's going on. Now you've
So-
got him talking about
Now
his
you
shit.
designed this
I'm gonna
thing?
use one of my cues.
Okay.
Well, while I'm looking at it, I'm gonna be like, yeah, I can rebuild the subsystem so it's 20% smaller and does the power load much better.
Oh, okay. But how do you think? Yeah, but how are you going to handle the excess radiation that's going to come from the reduction in that size, though? Because I mean, that's going to increase the radiation profile. I mean, you're going to have to need more shielding in there, right?
Not only shielding, but I think we can do something with the heat sink so it bleeds off into the heat sinks way more efficiently, so that we don't have to worry about the added weight of the heat shields.
Oh, so what you're saying, if we shunt some of that through there, that could work. I didn't necessarily thought about that, because I mean that's a lot of extra internals going on there.
And so
And I think
you
also
designed
once
that, correct? That is yours, right?
This was all me. I mean, well, yeah, sort of, I guess.
Oh, hey, I just
How
want to
much?
know who the man is that had the brain that came up with that idea.
I mean, it was kind of like my original concept. I mean, you always just like with and he points to Raph, just like this. Sometimes you got to have external ideas, or external input to help you figure something out.
And the
Yep.
vampires had you put that on their mech?
Yeah. I showed him that, and I said this was going to should guarantee him a victory. As long as the pilot can get in there close, and they were all about it.
Well, hell, God knows I'm sold. When I passed my data, my whatever it was I was recording on it, I passed that over to Luca. Said, hell, I'm sold.
Luca, who are you calling someone?
I'm actually going to spend a plot point to
Ooh.
uh, say that I have a contact at a news station that one of their top producers is a Chester fangirl and is upset that Chester may not make it back to the leagues.
And
Okay.
it won't be pretty anymore.
that that's perfect. Yeah. Okay. So go on. So what are you feeding? What are you feeding her?
Uh, essentially, not using a Luca profile, but kind of maybe a shadow profile Luca uses sometimes for
Ooh.
rumor mongering
Mm-hmm.
and milling.
Oh, nice. That's genius. All right.
Feeding some information about, Miller might have some radiation poisoning going on, and the vampires may have hired a hotshot tech. Kind of gives Cecil just a little bit of a side eye at that. But hotshot tech to provide unlicensed and untested weaponry to the vampires. Not of his own volition. I'm going to be a little nice to Cecil,
Oh, that's very nice. of you.
but leaving Cecil's name out of it too. But kind of just saying like, hey, the vampires are up to something. I don't like it. Can you do a little bit of investigative journalism for this
Yeah.
kind of
She
messaging?
she responds back and looks at like the stuff that you sent that kind of helped to verify a little bit of what you're saying, and yeah, she comes back. Oh, this is hot. This is Nova. I'm all over this. Absolutely. Is this the best number to reach you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, on it. Thanks for the tip.
Hey, no problem. I want to see Chester back in the fields.
Oh, I just want to see him walking around. And then yeah, she like puts like she gives she gives the smiley face with the heart eyes emoji after that. And then there's like she gets like a butt emoji as well after that. And then a fire emoji after that.
Too,
Um,
of course. Whatever floats your boat.
Yeah.
If so, do we are we taking Cecil back to our stable, because I don't think it's safe to let him loose.
We're gonna take Cecil back to our stable under some nice stealthy shortcuts if I can find them. I'm going to contact Andrea on the way, and Cecil, you are going to make a very, very sincere apology to Andrea and give her back all the tech you stole.
Oh. Oh.
Hey, keep this in mind. We didn't kill you.
Oh man.
And I might be able to use some of it as long as it's above board.
But and Andrew's she's gonna I mean that's the only what's on that dragon is the only model. That's the only that's the only built thing. She's gonna want that.
She is going to want that. Alright, so that means we have to track down the dragon, which means that in the meantime, you're going to be sticking with us, buddy. Because
Yeah.
I don't think you want to go back to the vampires after this. I can't leave that.
Well, hell, it looks like they thought you were their property anyway, so why go back?
All right. Well, I mean, I know where they're hiding it.
Alright, you're
Oh.
going to spill.
Yep. Okay. I mean, you're just gonna you want me to keep with you, so I might as well just show you, right?
Yep.
If the way doesn't get us killed or get us detected. Go for it. I'll let you
Or
lead.
shot down in midair.
All right. So we fade out from there, and we fade up to a shot of the group of you. Are you taking one vehicle or two?
Would it be safer to take two, do y'all think?
I mean, you could. It is going to be. You do have to drive because he does tell you it's on the outskirts of Solaris City. It's in the reaches.
I think
We'll
that
let Dash make that decision.
Two, one.
Are we trying to be conspicuous or inconspicuous?
As stealthily as possible, because running into the vampires once is a one thing. Running into them again.
I think hiding one car is easier than hiding two cars.
Okay. So you it takes, like I said, it takes a bit of a drive, and Cecil confesses on the way that the vampires, they wanted to have him work on this at a private spot only because it was experimental tech, and they didn't want word to get out. And you all know that whenever there's new tech registered, there's always rumors beforehand that this firm is working on this firm's working on that. And so the vampires, they really kind of want to try and keep that under control. So they stuck him in this small hangar area, which is actually it's near almost the edge of the reaches. And so you drive quite a way out there, and you're in an area that's a lot of urban blight. There's some shells of buildings. There are, some buildings around here. There's, paycheck loan places, all of those kinds of things. And it's, it almost looks like a war zone in a lot of ways, but without any of the violence occurring there. But you were eventually brought to a sort of a small thing, maybe about a few miles away from this place known as Shatner's Scrap and Salvage, which is an area where sometimes a lot of this stuff just gets dumped. And it's got the standard, high fence with a razor wire going around there. There's a small mech-sized hangar there as well, and you can see as you hide the car, it looks like there's probably just inside the grounds, it looks like maybe there's a couple of security guards that you can see, and that's about it. There's some ambient lighting and whatnot from inside the grounds, but it's not lit up or anything by any means.
Oh, this is gonna be a fun one.
Let's see if we can distract them and take them out.
And it is
silently.
That's an option. And just to give you a sense of scale, it's large enough where it's possible you might also be able to sneak across the grounds and into the hangar too, if you would like. So, I mean, you can absolutely try and stealth in and gank these dudes, or you can try and just be totally stealth. It's up to you. I just want to make sure you knew what the options were.
Or we get in there and we get Elroy into that dragon and he can just pilot it out.
I mean, that would be a good plan. But we need to figure out what we're doing with Cecil in the meantime, because I don't want to drag him in either.
I can just stay in the car.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. Actually, while everybody is talking to Cecil and Cecil is trying to defend himself, I'm going to be not as mean as I was to the one vampire, but I'm going to be a little bit mean. Pull out a tranquilizer patch from my bag of contraband.
Nice.
Stick Cecil with it.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Hey, what's it?
All gonna be okay, Cecil.
You didn't even let me count backwards. as he fades into unconsciousness.
Time to lock him in the trunk.
Well, hell.
It
Yes,
might
that
just
works.
leave this place for him.
Yes,
Yeah.
I literally want to do that.
Yeah.
Keep him out of sight. So why is some person just sitting in that car? You can't wake up and run off.
Oh, so you are going to put him in the trunk?
Yeah.
Hey, I dig it. All right.
I'll even find some little greasy rags to put under his head so he's at least, semi-comfortable.
Oh, look at that. All right.
Smells
That's
like
so
home.
nice.
Did you disable the internal escape mechanism in that trunk?
Yeah, it might be for the best.
All right.
Also, give
Yeah.
him some room to breathe.
Oh, sure.
Air holes.
Yeah.
You know how long it takes to... Never mind, just put the air holes in.
If you say that, Luca's literally just gonna, to make the car look a little bit more beaten up, just knock one of the taillights out.
I like that. I'll yeah, that works. I'll give you a plot point for that. For the effective disguising. I think that's good.
I'm pretty
Like, I
sure
don't
it's
have-
hard enough to take a beater anyway.
Yeah.
So why not make it look a little bit more beaten up?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, at least I don't have to worry about repairing it, I guess.
All right. So how are you getting into the hangar? How's this working?
Does
It's your
anybody
call.
have any form of like binoculars or anything like that?
I would say that if you knew that this was going to happen, you probably have that type of equipment available. Yeah, absolutely. If it's not like some sort of outrageous item, I'm probably just going to let you have it.
Okay.
You may have even had to move it out of the trunk to make room for Cecil.
There you go.
Well, it's always I'm gonna find a good position to look out into this junkyard,
Okay.
and I'm gonna say, never go into battle without a plan, and I'll use one of my cues.
Ooh. Okay.
Nice.
And I would like to see if I can get away with this, but I'd like to say that looking around this junkyard, I see the remains of a small set of personal battle armor.
Ooh. I will absolutely let you have that with the spending of a plot point.
All right. And I'm going to say, those things, they got many jets on them usually. Raph, you think you can prepare it enough to kick off those jump jets? Those things would make a hell of a distraction.
Yeah, that shouldn't be too hard as long as there's enough juice left in that armor. I don't know how long they've been sitting there. But yeah, that's a great distraction.
I don't know how to pilot one of those things, but sure as hell be fun. But I'm just saying, let's just get those jump jet activated, and hey,
So you just want to try and get them activated and then shoot it off across the grounds? Is that what I'm understanding?
pretty much.
Okay. Yeah, there's like the main hangar, which Cecil has said that's where the dragon is, and then there's lots of junk and other shit kind of on and around the sides of this, and then there's looks like there's a secondary sort of abandoned small bay behind that as well. But yeah, you can certainly point it to somewhere where it would make a loud noise, or even if the stuff goes skittering across the cleaner part of the grounds, absolutely. But you do need to get there, and that is definitely going to require some stealth on your part.
Also, before Raph takes off, Luca pulls out a nice explosive charge from her bag that she's been kind of keeping tucked away very securely and very nicely. Kind of playing off one of my cues, which is handing Raph the charges carefully.
Nice. Okay. All right. I like it.
You've been carrying around this the whole time?
It might come in handy.
Okay.
What don't you have in that jacket?
And I'd like to ask Chris. So, trying to find a position, looking out, and trying to map out ways for us to approach. Is it possible I could use tactics?
Absolutely. You could use tactics to figure out the best way to go. I will say if you get a successful tactics roll, you'll reduce one of the dies as far as if you were going to try and do some stealthing in there. Yes.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and go with
so
that then.
Making a tactics roll. And I think one of the others of you also has tactics. Yes.
I have tactics.
Yeah, you can assist if you'd like, Dash, and in this
Yeah.
effort to try and do this?
God.
So how do I assist?
That's a good question. I don't think that there is an actual assisting mechanic, but there probably should be. And even if there's not, I'm just going to make one up on top. So you, Dash, go ahead and roll, and then we'll still use Elroy's roll with this, and depending upon what you get, that'll affect. I'll roll separately for each of you. But that may give an additional bonus to Elroy's roll, is I guess what I'm trying to say, and not doing so very clearly.
No, do you want me to hold back telling you what my role is really quick and let him get his in?
Hold back
All right.
Elroy, and then so this will be first for Dash.
14.
14. Okay, that is a success. It's not like extraordinary, but it's enough success that I will give you a +1 to your roll then, Elroy.
All right. Well, my tactics is base 5. I've rolled a 5 and I rolled a 4, so I'm looking at a 14 base.
14 base, with his +1 that makes it a 15. I rolled a paltry 5. So yeah, you can see based upon how these guards are moving and what their patterns are and where there's pools of shadow, absolutely the best path to take to reduce. Actually, I'm gonna reduce it by 2 die because you did such a good job. So we'll go from 4 to 2, and making this an easy test for Raph to get there.
I'm gonna look at all right. So you're sure this is the best way through to get to that power armor?
Oh hell yeah!
I'm not gonna run into the patrol.
You're gonna get there just fine. Just be sure that you run back the way you came, so that you don't become an additional distraction. Now, I mean, I appreciate it, but you don't want people chasing you too.
No. I want to avoid being chased as much as possible.
Exactly.
But instead of running back, should I run towards the hangar once these armors go off and meet you guys there?
Well, damn it. Well, yeah, but you're gonna want to go this route. And I'll map out a side route so that if a patrol tries to go for wherever the point of origin was, where that thing launched off, that they aren't walking straight towards him.
Okay, sure. So yeah, so to shoot it in the opposite direction.
Yeah.
Yep.
Got it. And then, did you want him to go to the hangar after that? Was that what you said?
That's what he said. I'm like,
Well, that's what I was asking. Do you guys want me to meet you at the hangar instead of running all the way back and then we run all the way to the hangar?
hell, if we can't get that thing started by the time I get there, it might not be the best idea that you meet us there, unless we just want to, hold them off at the OK Hangar Corral or whatever,
All right, I'll come back to you guys before we go forward.
All right, so Raph, give me that stealth roll to get to this battered suit of personal battle armor.
So I have no skill in stealth, so it's just going to be a straight roll, right?
It'd be reflexes. It's untrained skill, so it'd be reflexes plus your 2d6 plus reflexes. Yeah,
Okay.
just reflexes once, not twice.
These dice have been rolling great. 11, 14.
Wow, that is good. And it was a good thing that you guys did your tactics things as good as you did. Because as an easy, it only got a 6. So yeah, you're able to time it right, and you zip forward to each point until you get to where you get to the armor. And now let's make a tech roll.
Okay, I want to try and see if I can make this easier. I've got my deluxe toolkit with me, and I'm going to reach in and pull out whatever the equivalent is of WD-40 in BattleTech verse to try and get through this corroded armor to the access ports, so I can get to the gear, to the inner workings to time them to launch off.
WD-40K.
Nice.
WD-40K.
Yeah, I was trying to think of like a really clever answer. I'm like, maybe it's up to WD-99 now or something. But WD-40K, dude, took a plot point. That was awesome.
Thank you.
Hilarious. Great. Okay. Yeah. Let's make that tech roll. And actually, since you specified a specific piece of equipment to really try and help you, Raph, if you want to spend a plot point, I will reduce a die off my roll here as well.
Sure. Never leave home without it.
Yeah. Right.
I got a 19.
Jeez. Okay. Yep. No problem. certainly versus what I rolled. And yeah, so you're able, you get some spray on there and you start loosening things up, and sure enough, there's just enough left in the fuel cell that you're able to get it properly rigged up so you can launch it, and you aim it, and you're even able to hit a timer to set it off, like when you wanted to or whatever, to give yourself
Right.
a little bit of space.
And then I want to take the explosives that Luca gave me
Yes.
and do a secondary timer. So like when that power armor crashes, like a minute later, then they explode from
That's
the
awesome.
explosives.
Okay, perfect. So, all right. So here's how this plays out. So you set that charge, you set off the armor, and it goes skittering across, and it just slams into the fence, and it's like banging up against the fence, and it's shaking it, and it already made a whole huge loud scraping noise as it was going across. And the rest of you see the guards go running in that direction, and they maybe get about halfway to where this suit of armor is just pounding itself against the fence, and then the explosion goes off, and then they almost stop in their tracks and look, and they are completely absorbed in what is happening right at this moment. And what are you then now doing as a group?
Let's take it in.
Straight in. All right. So you all just go charging in, and you're racing across, and you're trying, of course, to still stay in the shadows as you go through. However, I am going to spend a plot point and say that just as you burst into the hangar, the motion sensitive lights in there come on, and the hangar itself just lights up as all these lights go on. And it's enough for one of the guards to turn and see the last of you running into the hangar. So you know that they are aware of you at this point. And you run in, and sure enough, as these lights pop on, there's a few like scissor lift type things around the battered frame of the dragon that is there, and the missile plate is gone, of course, on the front. And you can even see now with the light that's in there, it almost looks like there's a comically large, a bullet-shaped thing kind of lying in the chest chamber of this dragon, which clearly must be this particle ram that Cecil was talking about. And there's a few other vehicles in here as well, a couple of Humvee style vehicles. And you get to the dragon, and you can hear alarm sounds start to ring off behind and around you. And what are you gonna do?
Okay, damn, I'm getting in that cockpit, but somebody better call in the reinforcements or the whatever you would call it. Get the VTOLs here so we can lift this thing out.
And I want to get onto whatever computer terminal there is to starting up the mech.
Okay.
Starting all those processes.
Yeah, you know, and I'll Raph, that because this mech has not been tuned to Elroy's brainwaves, basically, with the neuro helmet that he has to put on, that there's going to be, you're probably going to have to do some hacking to get this locked up. And you can find like the laptop and begin to sync up with the mech as. And this isn't a cold start. It's like kind of in its idle mode.
Okay.
So it doesn't have to like fully go, but you are going to have to try and hack through so that Elroy can at least get access to some systems.
Right.
So the two of you are doing that as Elroy's going in there. Luca, what are you doing? And Dash, what are you doing?
I'm pulling out my pistol from my jacket of many pockets.
Okay.
Apparently. Also, to Ref, do you have a hacking tool on you?
A hacking tool? Yeah, no, I got it.
Okay, you got it.
I've got my note pewter here. It's got all my routines
your
and
tools.
scripts. I'm good.
In that case, I'm not going to worry about that. I'm just going to kind of stick close to Dash and go, okay, we start shooting if they start interfering. Oh, I am going to spend a plot point because it's in my hand. That's what I'm just going to do. I'm going to spend a plot point to have already contacted my techs and the VTOL units to include the car that we brought, because I don't want them to get to Cecil, but if we're making our grand escape, we might not be able to get to the car.
Okay.
So.
All right. Like it, Dash. Yeah, he's not going to know. He's unconscious.
I wanted to spend a plot point and say that kind of near our entryway, there's a security system.
Okay.
I'd like to try to manipulate their security system to like lock them out essentially.
Nice.
And if I can't have that, then I'm just kind of gonna like assess all the entry points and kind of figure out where people are going to be potentially coming at us from.
Awesome. Okay. All right. So here, let me put this there first. Put that in our little group chat. Okay, actually. So, Elroy, I put the dragon stats in the group chat there. There's a little sheet for you. We'll worry about that. Should mech combat occur? Who knows? It may, it may not. It's difficult to say. This is Battletech. It's a crazy world. What are we doing? And okay, so you're checking the security system. Let's go. Let's do this in reverse order. So, Dash, make me a. Actually, you know what? Make me a perception check for Dash.
I want to use Edge. I got a 1 I want to reroll.
Okay, just so you know, because you can force me to reroll. I rolled 2 6s and a 3, so you could force me to reroll one of my 6s if you'd like as well.
Ooh.
So my total right now is I'm sitting at a 15.
15. Okay. We're doing a perception check.
This would be perception, yes.
Yeah, so I would need an 11. Oof. But I'm at an 11 now. I will have you reroll a 6.
All right, we'll do so. It did help, but I don't think it helped enough, so I'm sitting at a 13.
I'm only at 11. Yep.
11. Okay. All right. So you haven't found it. So basically, you're going to spend an additional round looking. Like you didn't find it right away, but you know it's got to be here somewhere to help you. So you're spending more time just trying to search for it at the moment.
Yes.
All right. So Luca, you've taken a position of cover. You got your pistol drawn. You can hear shouts, and of course the alarm sounds, and it does sound like guards are definitely on the way. I am going to I'm doing it again, splend a pot point, and I'm gonna say you get a text. You get a text on your phone, and it's marked in red, and it's from the techs with the stables saying having trouble getting VTOLs off the ground. There's going to be a delay.
I relay that to my team, and while I'm relaying, can I see if I could just disable the garage door between the yard and where the unit just went blasting off and the hangar that we're in? I want to.
Meaning, are you talking about the doors to the hangar that you're in?
Yes, but essentially what my end goal is I want to manually or percussively disable entry point that they'd use. Like, either if that means shooting the garage door mechanics so it comes crashing down, or blasting a block into
Yeah, you make me a perception check and let's see if you can find where to shoot. So you kind of want to do the Luke Skywalker blasting the light bridge sort of thing.
Yes.
All right, I want
to make my job a little easier.
I'm actually going to make this a hard thing, only because you're slightly distracted by this text and you're trying to relay that information.
Oh yeah, but
I still rolled kind of shitty. So what do you got?
I rolled a grand total of 9.
9. Okay, I am actually sitting at a 13. I got a 6, a 4, and a 2, and a 1. We are in a new scene, so your point of edge would have replenished.
And we do have a reroll from chat with DOTM. Thank you so much for that.
Nice.
So
wait, I know who that is. They're conspiring against me. Thank you very much.
So, any objections to using that reroll from the rest of the party?
No, go for it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I object, but nobody listens to me, so.
That is a 14.
14, and I got a 13, and you beat it. All right, so you're
Thank you.
you get the yeah. Thanks a lot, Dot. You get the That's who, by the way, got you the reroll. You get the text, and you're like, oh shit, and so you pocket your phone, and then you can hear the guards coming, and so you're quickly scanning around as you see Dash. He's like looking. He like checked his first panel, like, oh crap, that's not the security system, and he moves away. And you see across the way the controls for the hangar doors. And make me now that small arms test to see if you can hit that from where you are. And we will say, boy,
Okay, I'm
It's-
gonna be
you know
spinning
what?
that edge,
it's
too.
probably going to be. It's probably a small thing. So I'm going to say this is going to be a hard shot. That's going to
Yeah,
be
and then-
46.
I'm also going to use my edge to reroll my entire roll.
Okay. Do you want to wait and see what I got in case you want to force me?
Normally I would, but the max number I rolled on a die face was a 2.
Ooh, okay. All right. I just so you know, I am sitting at 11, 12, 13. I'm sitting at a 16.
Ouch.
This is gonna hurt. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to meet that because the max I rolled is going to be a 14.
Okay. So you crack off the shots, and you just is it just a regular like pistol?
Yeah, it says it's a laser pistol.
Oh, it's a
So-
laser
Ooh.
pistol? Damn, yeah. So you pew pew, and you burn a couple holes in the wall, but you don't hit the thing. You know, whether or not you want to continue that next round is up to you. That's fine, but that was pretty cool. All right,
Give Dad
Elroy.
the idea.
Elroy, you scale up the ladder, and you plop yourself in the command couch, and you can see that Raph is getting logged in, and so you're plopping on that neuro helmet. Go ahead and make me a. Where are you? Oh, right there you are. Make me a piloting mech roll. Because there's some general things that you have to do, and this is an unfamiliar mech for you, so you've got to get used to where everything is. And we're gonna say this is average.
Goddamn dragons! I hate Draconis Combine dragons. Did I ever tell you that? Mass-produced crap. Not even
Well,
a
it's
good
crap.
long-range weapon on the damn thing.
It's
And,
crap that's going to save our life, Elroy.
So my piloting was
Like
a
a couple of
5.
rerolls.
I rolled a 3 and a 4, so technically that's a 12. And yeah, we do have 2 more rerolls in chat.
have
They
2
must
more
really
rerolls.
love us.
They definitely love you guys. That's obvious. I only have I only got a 9. So yeah. So you're able to sit in there, and you start checking where systems are. And so I'm going to mark down the fact that you got that success. And so what that's going to do is, should you get in mech combat, because again, I don't know if mech combat's going to happen. It's Battletech. It may not happen, but that's going to help you down the road as far as being comfortable in this particular mech. All right, here we go, Raph. So you've tapped in, you're logged on, you're connected, and you definitely have to start bypassing some of the security that's on this. So this is definitely a computer's role.
And since since he is our probie, I've probably got his brain scans to help with the syncing on my data pad. So I'm just gonna real quick on the radio be like, "Oh right, you got the neuro interface on."
Yeah,
Oh.
he apparently turned his comms off.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. No, I'm here. Sorry.
Sorry,
I'm kind of all
no, Elroy,
absorbed in the fact.
you got the neuro interface on?
Yeah, I got it going. Just absorbed
All right,
in the
get
fact
ready.
that
This
these
could be a-
idiots took out a long-range weapon to put in a freaking battering ram.
Yeah, I get that. Let's focus on the fact that this could be a bumpy ride. It's gonna feel a little weird because this isn't programmed in, and I'm doing this on the fly.
And I hate it.
I'm right there with you. I wish I had the time to do it.
Nice. All right. So this is also going to be a hard test for you. Rolling 46. All right,
Okay.
Raph, let's do this.
Let's see.
Ooh. Ooh.
No.
I got a 14.
14. I got a 20. I got 6, 2 5s, and a
hurts.
4. So this doesn't mean that you fail
Nope.
completely. What it just you're having trouble with that initial bypass, and so
Well,
it's consuming time. But
I could also
yes,
spend my edge to make you re-roll one of those 6s.
you absolutely could, yes.
Because
However, that would leave me with a 14, and so the lowest I would get would be a 15. I think. Did you get a 14, or did you get higher than that?
6 plus 8 is 14. Yeah, I got a 14. Yeah, it's gonna be. I could re-roll the 1, but I'm not gonna get close to 20. I don't think.
Nah.
Yeah. All right. Sorry.
So that's
sorry,
all right, 'cause
Elroy. This is gonna be hard, but I'm doing it. Let's try it again.
You are. It's giving you grief. All right. So then now it's basically my turn. So the guards, at least the initial 2 guards, they sort of come running, and Dash, you can kind of see them from your angle that they're coming up, and they stop at the threshold of the bay. One of them crouches down and to like kind of cover the other as the one is coming in, and I'm going to see if he sees you. Let me call up my security guard here.
Oh.
Yeah, hopefully that's going to be his reaction. But let's see. What is his perception? Is that? Dash, make me a 2d6 plus double your reflexes.
I'd like to use one of the chat rerolls for the snake eyes I just rolled.
Ooh, okay. So, all right, now, I mean, technically it's a crit fail, but I do believe it can be re-rolled, so that is just fine.
Okay.
Ah,
All right.
Versus that.
10.
10. All right, I got a 15. I'm sorry, a 14. So he does see you, and he raises a weapon to fire at you. Or actually, he yells freeze and then just promptly shoots. Because,
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so now you definitely get to roll 2d6 again plus double your reflexes. And I'm doing that.
So I'm assuming that if Snake Eyes is a is
Yes.
level 6 is a critical success.
Yeah, actually, I don't think it says that in the rules, but however, that's gonna beat me because
16. Yeah.
16, yeah, in small arms. Yep, all I got is a 12. So he'd basically have like submachine gun pistols, and he's like freeze and lets off a short round burst on you, and this entire shelf of like manuals and stuff just explodes in this hail of gunfire as you come across and actually find the security panel. And then I'm going to spend another plot point, and you can hear the there's other sounds that are coming, and you catch like some more ambient light from behind, and it seems like something may have turned on in that other bay that was by the junk and stuff behind you. All right, that's going to bring us back around to Dash, right where you're at. So you have found the security panel, and it has lit up, and you can see where I just indicated. So this is basically like the little hangar thing behind. It looks like in there is another mech, and it is coming online as well. You can see that go off, and you are getting some perimeter warnings. It looks like there might be a couple of vehicles approaching as well. That's what you see, but you can absolutely do something now if you'd like.
Okay. Do we have comms of some sort between us?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you've absolutely you totally got the superhero comm in the ear thing. Yeah.
All right. We've got company external and internal. Looks like there's another mech. And then, having said that, I would like to use my cue. I'm going to shout onward to victory and glory.
Nice.
I want to spend a plot point so that I have 2 laser pistols.
Oh, okay. Love it.
Totally like Han Solo, like running at him, yelling, firing off laser pistols for the guy, trying to scare off those 2, and then anybody else I run into until you presumably face me with a whole army, and then I have to turn around.
Nice. I love it. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you draw it and you start shooting. So go ahead and let's see. I want to look at your. Let's see. This. I want to look at your character sheet because I want to try and give you an advantage of some sort. All right. So you go ahead and roll. Make your small arms roll as normal, but go ahead and add an additional +2 for your charisma because you took this cue and you're charging and screaming at them. And then I will roll their resistance to this.
13.
13. That actually is going to hit. So you go charging back at the guy who just shot at you, and you crack off shots with your laser pistol. All right, and that does 3 points of damage. And his armor does not protect against that. So yeah, you catch him in the shoulder, and he sort of spins and clutches it in pain, but they definitely aren't sure exactly what to do. We'll worry about their morale check here in a moment. Nicely done. All right, Luca, what do you want to do? Do you still want to try and shoot to shut these doors, or you got something else in mind? There's also vehicles in here too, which I'm assuming you're probably like taking a little bit of cover behind.
And the vehicles.
They're Humvee-like vehicles, so they're larger, a bit more, on the industrial side.
This is going to... I don't know if actually doing anything would be my goal, other than, cause chaos, because that's my mode.
Yes.
Is there a way I can turn on the vehicle, use my belt to position the steering wheel, and put a brick on the gas pedal just to send it out the door without hurting my teammate, but maybe causing chaos outside?
Yes, that definitely is a plot point. You could spend it to accomplish all of that. The only thing I'm going to make you do is I'm going to make you roll.
Because one of my cues is time for drastic measures, and this is time for a drastic measure.
Oh, that's
That is
awesome.
a drastic measure.
Give me a reflex roll. So give me 2d6 plus your reflexes doubled, and then this will just be strictly for aiming, because like the whole getting this vehicle and shooting it out the towards the door, that can work.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure see what your aim is.
Yeah, I should be prepared to duck.
I died.
That would be a 10. Yeah, that would be a 10.
A 10. All right. I did beat you, but like I said, you do send this off, and so you're just trying to you just want to send it out of the bay, right? Is that?
Yeah, I think on
Okay.
a success, I would have wanted to run over some people that weren't my teammates.
Okay.
But I'll take them just dodging out of the way to delay them for the time.
Yeah, you know what? I like that. Actually, what we'll say is that it smashes into the sort of the entrance of the bay where these guys roughly were. It doesn't hurt them, but it certainly causes them more additional pause. And since they've got a maniac charging them with two laser pistols, that kind of works to your advantage. Yeah, I like it. All right. Elroy, you are in there. Make me another piloting skill roll as you are basically waiting for systems to come online.
All right. I'm going to use an edge to re-roll a 1 I rolled. So
Okay.
I'm going to get that in there. But that'll turn that 1 into a 5. So I have a 5, a 4, and then my skill, I believe, in piloting is a 5. So that should have me at a 14.
14, which will beat my 10. So you have basic controls of the mech. You could start walking out right now if you wanted to. We're still waiting for Raph to get you full on access to everything. But you can at the very least start piloting it and pushing it forward. You don't have weapons yet or any of that stuff, but you can move. You do see on a side panel, which definitely was placed in here and has been kind of like jury rigged and duct taped up. it has a readout for the thing known as a particle ram, and you're kind of looking at it schematic wise as to how this thing looks like it might work, but it's not completely distracting you. But you can move the mech if you'd like. Start walking it if you want.
All right.
I mean, you're gonna have to stay in Bluetooth range of RAF, but you know,
The other mech.
Bluetooth's gotten a bit better since.
What do we got? What's coming up, powering up near us?
For your success, I'll give you that to you, and if not, then Dash certainly was able to. It looks like it is a Thunderbolt. So it's a mech. It's got you by 5 tons, but you are faster than it.
All right, guys. Well, it's about to get in the suck here, and I am going out the door and taking a left out the hangar door.
Nice. So yeah, this massive mech just starts marching through, and you go right out the hangar. You probably end up kicking the Humvee as you go and sending it spinning. And because the brick is still on the gas pedal, it eventually finds a direction and just takes off across the tarmac. All right, and that brings us back to Raph.
Okay, so I'm going to use one of my cues because this is not... I should be better than this, and I'm going to double and triple check everything before I hit send.
Nice. All right, I like it. Go ahead and make that computer roll,
And
I'm gonna reduce the dice from last time, or die from last time, since you're becoming more familiar with this.
And new sheet, not used to things. So I also have tech empathy, so I get to add a +1 to this roll too, correct?
Correct. Yes.
All right.
Thank you.
Nice.
Ooh, that's 8, 16, 17.
17. This is a Unix system. You know this. So yeah, boom, you're in. You've got full access. You start bringing up all the various systems. The whole brainwave tie-in thing is taking a little bit of time to get synced up, but yeah, all of a sudden, as you step past the threshold of the hangar, Elroy, you hear that familiar tone, "Weapons online."
Oh hell yeah!
All right, you're good to go. Just be careful of that particle ram. You don't want to... If you want kids, I wouldn't irradiate yourself.
And it's there. Yeah, the particle ram is good. It's good to go. You had a moment, just take a split second to just see exactly like how it works. You're able to like run the visual demo, so you know kind of how this can go. But yeah, all right. Then that brings us to the end of the round, which is my guys. So the security guards, they scatter. They GTFO, because I mean, goodness gracious, they have a dude running and shooting at them. They had a Humvee charging at him, and now the mech has started to take off, and so they start to clear that area. But you do notice, Dash, that more security is on the way coming in here. It's mostly ground base, but so like just right now it's just the one mech. But sure enough, that mech comes clomping out the Thunderbolt, and it raises its right arm, and over its PA, you hear a voice say, "I don't know who the hell you are, but you better stop now."
I don't know the rest of you guys. Well, I don't know about the rest of you guys, but how about we hop in one of these Humvees? Because I don't want to be in the middle of this battle.
Is there any chance you can hack the opponent mech? That'd be the only other thing I think we could try to do for support.
I mean, I could do that for my my note pewter,
Yes.
but kind of like, you know, want some distance between these two things, because when those guns start going off, we're going to be lucky if we can hear afterwards. But yeah, I mean, we could do what we did in the tournament. I can try and hack their sonar and, you know, make it less effective for them.
You absolutely could. Elroy, are you going to stop moving, or are you just going to keep on marching?
I'm actually going to try and go around behind the hangar. I'm gonna I'm faster than him. I'm gonna try and keep the hangar between me and him.
Okay. So, but just, I mean, just so we're clear, so he says that, but you kind of keep your arc to try and put this thing in the way. All right.
Yep.
So he doesn't hesitate. He shoots. So all right. So I'm going to shoot you. And I just hold on. I got to find this here. All right. So you roll 2d6 plus your piloting skill bonus, and because you're trying to get this hanger into the way, I'm going to give you an additional +2 to your roll on this. And so let me find his gunnery skill, which is that.
All right. So on my piloting, I rolled a 6 and a 2 with another 2. That puts me at the 10 plus my 5 for piloting, so I'm at 15.
15. All right. So he cracks off a shot with his large laser, and it goes clear past you, and it slams into like the masonry of a nearby building. It just burns, and you see bricks and all kinds of shit falling. But he is going to follow it up with a medium laser grouping. So go ahead and make that roll one more time with that same +2.
All right. Well, on that one, that's a 4, 4, and with that 2, so that's going to be 10 again. And with my 5, that puts me at 15.
All right. I rolled 2 1s, and so this trio of medium lasers also cracks off, following the same arc, and basically just blows out the remaining section of this part that the large laser hit. But he did completely miss you.
Well, hell,
And
son, you ever thought about getting into demolition work?
and he continues to try. You know, he's starting to chase after you
Because you're really
or
good at hitting
move,
anything that
you know,
doesn't move.
to get around. All right, let's bring this around to Dash. What are you doing there, sir?
That's a good question.
You can tell from your security system, just so you know, that there are a couple of those vehicles that were where the Thunderbolt came out. There are now a couple of vehicles that came out of there as well, and they're zipping around to try and get into position against this mech as well.
So, then I'm gonna try to hop into a Humvee and see if I can get it moving to interfere.
There is another vehicle there, yeah. So you're able to race across the hangar here, and you hop into the other Humvee that is there, and it's easy to. I mean, all the stuff, the ignition's right in there, so it's easy to start that up. You've got it running, absolutely.
So yeah, I'll just put on the comms that I'm gonna try to help out those vehicles. So
Nice. All right.
if Raph and Luca want to come, or if they want to try to just get away, I'll leave that to them.
No.
Luca, you get a text from Johnny, and he's like, condition update, call me. But now go ahead, it's your action.
I'm going to call Johnny.
Oh, awesome. Okay.
Tell Johnny, because at this point I'm like, I'm not having a good day. I'm also going to be looking for chaos that will support my people. And if I can, before Dash takes off, I'm going to be doing this, like diving into the vehicle just to keep up with Dash.
You do see, speaking of looking for chaos, you do see some potential chaos. This particular Humvee does have an anti-mech weapon mounted on top that you would absolutely be able to use to definitely cause chaos.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm going to put in, like, in the other ear from my team comms, I'm going to put Johnny on.
Okay. All right.
You wanted to call, what's up?
Looking for a condition update. How's he doing?
He's gonna be okay. He's gonna live. They're gonna need to do some reconstruction on him.
What is? Are you? What are you? Are you at a racetrack or something? What is all that noise in the background?
We're liberating a mech from the vampires because the vampires cheated and we have the proof.
I'm sorry. What?
New weapon. I'll catch you up when we're done here. But yeah, I'm trying not to get shot. Does this surprise you?
And then you could hear there's like juk, 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 juk from machine gun fire that's coming from the Humvees, and yeah, the line just goes dead at that point. Nice. All right, so your Humvee goes screeching out of the. Well, actually, we won't do that yet because we got to make sure if Dash wants to get in there because we don't know if he's in there yet. And so it's on its way out. That brings us to Elroy.
All right. I'm going to keep the hanger between me and him still, and I'm going to fire off an AC at volley at one of the cars that might be trying to aim at me as well.
Okay, and so you see like these two Humvees, they come skidding around, and they're actually they're faster than the mech, the Thunderbolt, and so they've been able to make this arc a little bit faster. And there's two of them. They've each got the anti-mech weapons there, and they got a little crew they're getting ready to shoot. This is, and I'm just gonna say, your dragon has been slightly modified. You've actually, instead of the AC5, you actually have a PPC there.
Oh, sweet.
So, but you also do have the forward and rear facing medium laser that you could use against them if you wanted to as well. But I mean, if you want to shoot the PPC, you can. There'll be a slight penalty because you're within its minimum range, but don't let that stop you.
Well, that'd be fun. We'll go with that medium laser. We'll go with the medium laser on one of them.
Okay. Absolutely. All right. So go ahead and roll your gunnery mech, and I'm going to give them a +1 just because these vehicles are a little bit faster. So let's see. Okay.
Well,
What'd you get?
So I rolled a 4 and a 5, and I have 6 in gunnery. So I am looking at 15 total.
15. I got 7 + 5 is 12. Even with the +1, that makes it 13. So you did hit. So that medium laser, it does what? 2 damage?
2 damage.
All right. So yeah, the Humvees are arcing around, and you sort of turn, and your targeting reticule locks on to one of them, and you just pop off this medium laser, and it strikes the side of this Humvee, and it sort of spins it around, and it just cuts this gash in there. But it recovers. But you can see that you've almost ripped off that side of the armor that's on there. And so they're like, the crew is completely exposed to you, but you definitely did hit it. But they are currently kind of spun out, and they won't be able to do anything this round from the damage that you did. Nicely done. And are you going to continue to move out of the just like out into the streets?
When I definitely have the other mech between, the hangar between me, that's when I am just going to, take a hard right turn. And yeah, I'm headed out into the streets. I'm gonna see if I can get away from this guy.
Okay. Yeah. So you shoot the Humvee, and you take a few more steps, and you sort of lose sight. You've completed that arc enough, and you're able to kind of move forward, and you bust through the fence edge of the compound and into the streets. All right, Dash. You're still in the hangar. The friendly Humvee is starting to leave.
Raph.
I'm sorry, Raph, not Dash.
Did something happen? Did I die? I'm not going to stick in here by myself.
Okay.
I see everybody piling in the Humvee, so I'm going to jump in there too.
Nice. All right.
And then if I still have an action, then I'm going to try and hack the radar on the other mech and see if I can disable it, so it gives
Awesome.
a bit of an advantage.
Make me a computers roll.
Okay.
And since you're using a friendly, well, it's a vampires. Are you using your computer, or using the laptop that you found in here to get you into the dragon?
Oh yeah, no, I'll grab that because I figured that it would give me the best advantage to.
It absolutely will,
Yeah.
actually. So yeah, go ahead and make that computers roll.
19.
19. Yes, you've been able. All right, so you're able to establish the connection. I'm going to have you make another thing to try and disable. This is actually going to be hard though, because this mech is in combat mode, so it's going to be a little bit more difficult to get it to disengage or turn systems off.
So still rolling computer.
Yes, sir.
Okay. 16.
16 is more than my 13. So yeah, you bust through that internal security. What would you like to disable?
I'm gonna shout out in the car to Dash. It's like, look, I'm in their system of that enemy mech. What do we want? Do we want to turn off the sonar? What do you want to turn off?
Can you take out a leg?
Like disable their like the servos in the leg?
Yeah.
Cool.
Give 'em a
Yeah,
full
no,
leg.
that's awesome. And I'll start clacking on the computer and just like lock up the servos in that leg.
Awesome. All right. So you send that command through as the as your Humvee just peels out of the hangar, and starts. I'm assuming Dash, when you take off, you are going to try and follow the path that Elroy did.
Yeah.
Okay. So you come out and you screech out and start peeling out towards to follow him. Now it's my turn. So the one Humvee, he kind of spins out. He spends his whole action recovering and getting their vehicle back on track. The other one continues to pursue you, Elroy, and it is going to take a shot at you with its anti-mech weaponry. So make me that piloting skill roll to avoid.
Ooh, do we have any rerolls left on the table?
Yeah, we should have one left.
One
We
left.
got 2 a while
Well-
back. Phil used 1.
I have a 4, a 2, and I have my base skill of 5, which puts me at 11.
An 11. Right now they are at, let's see, that's 6. Right now they are at a 12.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and use that reroll to reroll my 2,
Okay.
and that makes that into a 6.
Nice.
So that's gonna be a 6, a 4, and my base skill of 5 on piloting. I believe that was what it was. So that's
Yes.
gonna put me at 15.
15. All right. So yeah, you see this the little anti-mech small laser that's on top of this thing, and you hear the target lock, but then all of a sudden they hit a pothole on the tarmac inside the hangar, and it is just enough to knock it off, and the beam just shoots just between your mech's legs as you bust through the fence out into the street. And then so the mech that's chasing you, I'm going to spend a plot point, and I'm going to say that your command to freeze it up worked for a moment, and it did sort of it kind of stutter-stepped a little bit as the command unleashed. But as Dash was taking off, he got out of Bluetooth distance, and you lost your connection, and so the security systems flipped back to regular mode, and it was able to engage, but he still spent his turn trying to get things back online, and then the equipment or the signal then was lost. Okay. Next round. All right, Dash. So you're driving and you're closing in on one of these Humvees that is chasing Elroy. And go ahead and make me a piloting. What do you think? You have piloting land base, don't you?
Yeah, piloting ground. Yeah.
Yeah, piloting ground. All right. Yep. Make that
9.
9. All right. I've got a pretty good roll here. I got a 12. I got a 16. So you can still do something, but there's probably going to be a penalty to it, because I'm assuming you're trying to get out of here as fast as possible, and this is not necessarily the cleanest grounds as you're driving around.
May I ask what your dice rolls are for potential edge?
Yes, you may. I got 2 6s and a 4.
Okay, so you're still gonna have a 10 even if I were to re-roll it.
Yeah, my minimum would be 11. Yep.
Yeah.
We do have a new reroll that came in.
Who did
Yeah.
that?
Rue.
Gosh damn it, Doc! You're killing me. You're killing me, Doc.
She did say that you can shoot her next game.
Yeah.
All right, so maybe,
Mickey's not happy.
let's use my last edge to have you re-roll a 6, and I will use the re-roll. We'll see what I can do.
You're having me re-roll a 6?
Yes, please.
Yes. Cool. Wow, that was an edge well spent. I got a 1, so I am down to an 11. Nicely done.
All right, and then I rolled an 8, and my piloting ground is 4, so I'm at a 12.
12. Okay, sweet. So yeah, you're going to avoid any penalties. You're still, kind of steering this all over the place, but you've been able to navigate a clear course. What would you like to try and do now? I'm assuming that Luca wants to cause some chaos, so she's probably gotten up into the gun above there. So you could certainly try and position the vehicle to take a shot at the Humvee. I mean, you can do whatever the hell you want, but I'm just giving you options here. Or you can just try and just beat feet and get out. Whatever you want to do.
Do I see any targets that perhaps Luca could shoot that might block the path behind us? Like, I don't have any plot points back, but like, could we like take out enough of the rest of that building so it falls and like, blocks him from like chasing us or something?
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that idea. Yes, there is. You can with your successful roll, you can position yourself into such a way so that Luca can get a shot that would help to expedite that process. She'll get a bonus on her roll. So
Okay.
yeah, perfect. All right, sweet. And so Luca, you're there.
I am going to do what Dash suggested. I'm going to make an untested roll unless this counts as a small arm, which I doubt.
This would be small arms.
Oh, this is small arms. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's probably the closest we can get. I'm not going to make you do like gunnery mech or something like that. So. And I will say, because of Dash's thing, this will drop from an average to an easy. So I'm only going to roll 2d6 to oppose you.
That's a 12.
Beats my 7. So yeah, what does this look like? We'll say that you've also got a little small laser on there as well. So like, what does the shot and everything that happens to create this rubble basically? What does this look like?
If we're in the urban area proper at this point, one of the lesser well-maintained buildings, I hit a crack just right to send it just showering.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, it's basically that whole like front fascia or whatever it is, the wall just collapses behind you and just brick and mortar and everything just fills the entire street and basically your escape path. So that's awesome. As
One moment in Mulan, shooting at the mountain.
yeah. Nice.
Only in reverse. I'm not trying to suppress, I'm trying to cover.
Love it. Okay, Elroy.
All right. Well,
You're out in the street, and you can tell from your own radar that the Thunderbolt is back on track, but you have obviously put some distance in there. You probably, for cinematics fun's sake, you can see it from where you're at if you wanted to take a shot. With your PPC, you certainly can. We'll say that you would be in medium range, basically.
I'm actually going to juke and put a building again between us in the urban section. And I will correct myself. Rue said punch, not shoot. Punch her character next game.
Perfect.
My apologies.
Thank you. That's right.
But I'll pull out my little tech notepad and set it to like my Instagram or whatever to broadcast a story. And I'm like, I set it out on front of me, and I'm in the cockpit, and I'm just like, hey, all you mother huggers, it's your boy Elroy here, giving you a heads up. I am currently, and I'm just rattling on as I pilot this mech through it. Management shot down the name Bear. The Bear, they thought that was ridiculous. So I would love to get a good idea. Poll is in chat. I would love to know what you think should be my my handle for my my mech. And so that's pretty much what I'm doing.
Nice. I'm going to give you a plot point for that because that was amazeballs. That was wonderful. However, because for your juke move, I'm going to have you make an opposed piloting skill roll versus this Thunderbolt, only to see because he's moving as well, and so I want to see if you can indeed get that building in between.
All right, so that's a 3, a 4 with my base of 5, so that's a 12 total.
12 total. I got a 7, and with his base of 5, that is also a 12. So Ty's going to go to the player. So you did indeed. You're able to, and he was trying to track you, but then you just cut and found an alleyway, and you continued to march down there. And that brings us then to Raph.
Well, that leg thing didn't work. Any suggestions, everybody? Because It didn't really help.
Well, no, actually, it did, because it did slow him down. He wasn't able to move this round, so
Okay.
you've helped. You did help to create distance.
Am I still in the system, or are we gonna have to re-roll for me to get access
You would
back
have
into
to
the
re-roll
system?
to get access back, because I mean everything's moving and there's interference, but you can 100% get in there if you want. And you see what he's actually doing. Just so you know, he looks like, even though he knows that he can't fully see, it looks like his Thunderbolts have a large tube on their shoulder that is their missile launcher, and he looks like you can see that moving, like he's going to position to try and do some arc fire, kind of a blind shot to hit the dragon if he can.
I forget, with the Thunderbolts, can they rotate at the waist?
Yeah, absolutely. They can totally twist at the waist, and you bet.
All right. I'm gonna get on the intercom and like, Elroy, I'm gonna see if I can delay it some more. So get in position for a good shot.
Find me. Anybody got a word on a pool of water around here? Anything that I can partially submerge? I'm gonna rev up that PPC and do whatever I can with it.
It's horrible urban blight, and it always seems to be raining in Solaris. So there's probably a depression somewhere nearby where you can stand, like a sunken-in piece of roadway, that you might be able to get a little bit.
Even a flooded, demolished basement, possibly.
Flooded, demolished
There you
basement. Perfect.
Little cover, little water. Hey, I'll take it.
Yeah.
I think I'll take the idea that chat just presented. I'm going to first let's roll to see if I can get access into their system again.
And I think I made that. You know what? I'm going to make this average only because of distance and moving around and all that.
Okay.
I got a good roll. I got a 15.
I'm at a 14.
I got a 6, a 5, and a 4.
I'm going to spend my edge to re-roll my 2.
Your 2? Okay.
Yep. Oh, I rolled 1 up. That's a 3. 8, 9, 10, 11. So that's 15 plus my 1. That's 16.
Yep, you're in. All
Okay,
right.
so I am going to now try to shut down the coolant system.
Okay, and I will also say that because you knew what you had to do last time, I'm going to drop it from a hard to an average,
Okay.
so you can bypass those initial threats.
15.
Oof, I got a 7. I got 2 1s and a 5. Goodness gracious.
So,
All right. Yeah, you just like use zip right through the security, and you find the coolant, and you just bloop, and you can even the connection stays, and you can see that it drops.
all right. On the radio. All right, Elroy, I shut down the coolant system, so if they do anything, they're going to overheat until they stop and fix it.
All right.
And so it's and you're kind of watching this, and the Thunderbolt, you can tell it definitely is like it's positioning its LRM-15 getting ready to shoot, and then it looks like it's one of those things that, I mean, Elroy, you certainly recognize this for all your years in the field, and the rest of you do because you've seen it in the arenas. If there's that moment where, like, here comes the shot, and then suddenly there is no shot. And, of course, Raph, because the coolant system is down, and then the rest of you kind of hear what he says, and you realize that that's it. And you see him scrambling to try and get it back up. Actually, you can see that internally, Raph, as he's trying to override those. And he spends his action basically working on that. So... and then the pursuing Humvees can't pursue thanks to the masonry wall of the building, so they have to go wide right, but it's going to be too little, too late for them, so they are effectively out. So we're at a point where if you wanted to take that shot, Elroy, you certainly could, or if you wanted to just get the heck out of here, you guys have definitely created your escape path. You could still take your shot and get away if you wanted to.
Yes. So that will be a shot.
All right.
I like that. Yes.
Yes.
All right. So gunnery plus 2d6.
Yep, gunnery, and because of Raph's excellent work in disabling the cooling system, because Chad apparently hates me, he's still gonna roll his 2d6 to resist, but I'm gonna remove his piloting skill bonus completely because he's trying to get the cooling system back up. So in other words, this is gonna be really easy for you to hit.
All right. I wink at the camera, and I'm just like, Hey, just hold on here a second. I dramatically line up my shot with the PPC. And I spent one of my edges so that I could reroll a 1, and that puts me at a 6 and a 5 plus a 6 for my gunnery skill. So that's a 17 total.
17 total. I only rolled a 5, so that is definitely a hit. Your PPC goes slamming into it. And let's just, for the hell of it, let's actually see where you hit here. Hold on, I'm going to get that little sheet here. Because there is a location.
The Battletech charts.
I know, right? We have to do something at least a little Battletech-y. Here it is. Go ahead and roll 2d6. Let's see where you hit.
So that is a 2 and a 5, so that's 7.
7. So you hit it square in the chest, and the PPC's damage, I believe, is 3. So yeah, it just cuts right across this blue beam of man-made lightning. And yes, I know PPCs aren't man-made lightning, but it's already been established by fictional canon. So there you go, it's man-made lightning. Anyway, the sorry, we actually never mind. The PPC goes just cracking out from the right arm, and it just rips across the front chest of the Thunderbolt, just tearing armor and snapping pieces as his cooling system.
With lightning.
It was a Thunderbolt with lightning. Gosh, you could take a plot point for that. That's awesome. And it is. It's very, very frightening. That was awesome. That was great. That was a chef's kiss on that one. All right. And the mech staggers a little bit because he wasn't paying complete attention, because he was trying to get his coolant system back up, but it doesn't fall. And a lot of you are able to take off into the dark night of Solaris City. So you have recaptured the tech. You've got Cecil. Eventually he shows up. And what is this? How does this... I mean, obviously O'Neill's is very happy, but how does this all end? How do you guys think this whole thing gets resolved, this whole situation? Because obviously you got the tech, you got the technician, you've returned everything. Like what do we see some end montage scenes here? What do they look like?
For me, it would be the head of the vampire stable going into like some kind of court proceeding on allegations of fraud and cheating and
Yeah, love it. Yeah, and it's, I mean, with the evidence presented, yeah, there's nothing that they can do to refute it. And so yeah, they were a stable that was already on a slide downward, and all this did was just put the WD-40K on the rest of the slide, and they just went the rest of the way, straight to Mechwarrior hell in that regard. I love it. That's good.
Mm-hmm. All right. Oh.
Anybody else? Any other good scenes?
I think if we give Luca an epilogue, just lots of media, making sure Chester, even if he can't pilot again, making sure there are some good biography deals in the works for him.
Nice.
Because we did some good work for that.
Made for TV movies.
Yeah, and there's always color commentating that he could do. Who knows? He might still recover. That's tough to say, but yeah, I like that. I like seeing Luca do all that work for Chester. That's awesome. All right. Any others?
Made history.
My credit scene, I think, will be that you see Dash walking, and he's got a bottle of a brown liquor, with the implication that it's some high end stuff, and a couple of rocks glasses, knocking on Johnny's. Yeah. Johnny's door.
Yeah, and yeah, I can imagine him opening the door as he sees you. He gives you the big Carl Weathers Schwarzenegger Predator handshake as you go walking in there with the drink. I like that. That's awesome. Yeah. All right, Elroy, you got one? What does it look like for Elroy?
Elroy is going to turn his color commentary into a career, and scores a season, a TV season of Diners, Drive-Ins, and Draconis Combine, and he just so he's kind of like going around and trying out all these different places to eat throughout the galaxy, and dropping really ridiculous little, moments like he does.
Nice.
Now the big
Nice.
question is on your show, do you pull up in front of these diners and dives in some kind of souped up, red hot looking mech?
Oh yeah, it is. I'm gonna go with it. It is a locust. I don't know if y'all have ever seen that, but
Oh
it's
yeah.
basically a
Yep.
little ball with two with two spindly legs and a single gun and maybe some other stuff. But the thing is, all that's been removed, and it's been painted bright red with chrome and flames on it. So yeah, he charges up on front of it and says, "I'm trying out this place here today." Yeah. So
Nice. Nice.
Nice. Not
And
where I thought you were gonna go, but I like it.
yeah, me neither. I'm kind of digging that too. And chat did remind me that I have 4 plot points left, and so I guess my end scene is that with each one of these, we see um, probably various enemies of the Black Line stables uh, slowly but surely beginning to piece together their own revenge plots against each one of you to try and take or to get back at you, whether it's members of the vampires stables looking to plot some revenge, or somebody in Luca's case, it probably is the guy from the vampire stable who basically took care of his childbearing years um, in the bar there as well. And then we see maybe somebody, an enemy of Elroy's, opening up some sort of fake diner and making a call to an agent, and then and then probably in Raph's case, it probably has something to do with beefing up their security and trying to figure out how to hack into your stuff.
I,
Uh,
can I read this out? Chat, this gave us a good one. Call Comstar because these ribs are off the chain.
yeah, I was trying to think of a Flavatown, but I couldn't. I couldn't think of one. But yeah, and I think actually in Dash's case, I think we'll use Johnny against him, and that maybe um, somebody calls Johnny and they need a favor, and it's somebody who also he has a relationship with, and he's suddenly put into a tough choice about having to do something about you.
Not Johnny.
And that's where we'll end it. You guys were awesome. That's Mechwarrior Destiny, and that's
That was
the
fun.
saga of the Black Lions, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
so much
absolutely.
fun. Thank you.
Chris,
Yeah, and
it
we seem to go through
has-
pilots.
Yeah, Chris, it has been an absolute honor to have you coming on as a guest for us to GM and just be here. Uh, People out in chat, if you don't know, Chris is a RPG writer and has worked in the BattleTech property before. I've got at least I think one book over there on the shelf that you were a part of. Uh,
Oh,
so
thank you.
I am. I love BattleTech. I'm really happy to get this opportunity to play with you, dude. Thank you so much, and of course to my our players, Corey. This is I guess your second game with us to come on with Rook and Rasp. So thank you so much, and Phil. Always love having you, and Sean. You're you're like if we were a Three Musketeers, you're you are our D'Artagnan that seems to always show up in the clutch and always come through and play games with us. So thank you so
I
much, man.
appreciate that. No, I have so much fun on here, so thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
Well, that said, we're going to go ahead and make sure everybody knows tomorrow is Sunday, which means that it is Horror on the Express with Illuminated Page. Rue will be the GM for that. Monday brings back our Star Trek game. Phil, are you the GM for that one that day?
I'm not the GM.
No, okay, but you're on
I
that
think I
one.
am playing. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I think I'm
And-
playing that day as well.
Yeah, and okay, cool. So both of y'all are in on that one, and then Tuesday will be our Seventh Seas show, with by leaps
And the
and
plot
bounties.
point.
And so there we go. Hey, thank you all for coming out, and I had a blast.
It
Next
was.
month.
I really I appreciate you asking me, and yeah, you guys as a group, that was awesome. Really, really well done.
Next week, I want to be sure to say that Seriously Let's Play comes back with Overlight, which was a game that was some pretty good hotness there coming from Renegade Games for a bit there. Still out, still doing pretty well. Come on back and see that. Next month we have some really cool stuff. I'll be putting those announcements out pretty soon. And you know what? I'm gonna say this to my crew here. I'm gonna be having if we want to go controversy and the wonderful side world of BattleTech and the stuff that happened in the 80s. I'm supposed to be running a Robotech game on Seriously Let's Play some point in the future. So I would love to have y'all back for that.
You know me, I'm for any giant mech game. I am in.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'll have to get an anime
That
hair
would be
wig
fun.
that I could. Yeah.
I would
All
be
right.
more than happy to be back for that.
Cool. All right, everyone. Well, we're gonna sign off for the night. We will see y'all back tomorrow. Night, everyone.
All right, guys.
Bye, y'all.
Yeah.